Okay.
Alright, chat, I once again have to urge you to not say "oh whoa" in the chat. That is indeed a very serious crime. One that shall not be easily excused. Do not say "oh whoa" in the chat. We're better than that here. No! No, chat, we are better than this. No! We're so much better than this. Oh my god, no, I didn't see this coming. Oh. Oh, the travesty. Oh no. Oh god. Oh, the immense disappointment. Oh no. How could this happen to me? I don't get it. Oh, I've done everything right in my career, and this still happens. God, it's absolutely outrageous. How could this? I haven't done anything to endorse this sort of behavior. Oh, disgusting. I can't believe you done this. All right, fine. Let's see now. How's oh my god, it actually works. Zazing. Hello, how are you doing, you wonderful, beautiful beings? Hold on, what is that? That is right, silence. Let's fix that real quick. Oh yeah. Some lo-fi vibes, baby. Oh yes, indeed. It's kind of hard to balance the light because, for the first time in like 10 months, there is actually sunshine in Sweden. Can you believe it? Holy shite. That is going to be amazing. My poor little pale face is going to burn off. I'm not used to this natural light. How are you doing, you wonderful little peeparoonies? Oh wait, did the chat on screen die? Did the chat box break? It looks like it. That's great. Why did it break? Okay, let me try to do this. Yeah, nope, that doesn't work. Okay. Beep boop. No? Okay. Ah, now it's blinking and broken. Isn't that amazing? Okay. This is a great stream. The first thing that happens is that something breaks, and I'm desperately trying to fix it. Click, I have a question. It's easier, I think, to ask the question. My god, more Gacha Life cringe. Probably not. I really enjoyed doing those videos back in the day, but I think what I realized is that the subreddit got kind of weird, and then I think most of it just turned out to be like trolling and not real stuff anyway, so it kind of defeated the purpose of it. Lol, we can say anything now. No, chat, behave yourself. I don't want to see any OOs in the chat just because it's broken. Alright, let me see if I can maybe, let's do this. Let's just refresh that, the URL maybe. Maybe that's gonna help. Let's see. I don't think this is gonna do anything. Okay, so if I do this, it does nothing. If I just remove one letter, it breaks, and you get the YouTube monkey. And if I replace it again, it's still broken. No, it's still, oh! It moved! Holy, I'm a genius! Holy shit, man! Oh my god, I'm so good at this. Oh, and they say I'm not a professional streamer. They ain't seen nothing yet. Oh yes, indeed. Let me pull down the music slightly for myself, and maybe pull it up slightly for the stream. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh yes, indeed. Now I can put stuff over here again. How are you doing, you wonderful, beautiful beings? Welcome in for the proper introduction to today's stream, where we're just messing around. Do you know what? Do you know what? I had a package notification, I think, a couple of days ago, and I was like, what is this? The notification says this is coming from Makeship. I haven't ordered anything from Makeship that is gonna arrive, like, now. You know? What is this? It's completely out of place. Maybe it's my glow-in-the-dark emotional support demons finally arriving, which we're gonna take a bit extra long because my package was apparently incredibly huge. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was this. And now you're like, but click, you already showed your rainbow plushie. You think he looks gay now? Have you seen the cape? Have you realized that all the Pride plushies have little capes? Little gay capes? Look at this. Oh, it's like a superhero. Check this out. It's amazing. So I got like a package. I took my car to the post office because I thought it was going to be a huge package full of 50 plushies. And it was like, it was an envelope with this. And I was so happy. I was so happy. Oh my god, look at this. It's amazing. So if you didn't know this, the little Pride plushies are gonna come with little gay capes. It's absolutely beautiful, so they can gay their way through the sky. It's absolutely amazing. Look at this. Wow! Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god, we have some viewer thingamadoodles. Marvel, thank you so much for that. 39 months Royal Lasso. That is insane. Hello, Click. Wish I could stay, but stuck at an after-work meeting. Man, that sounds like some real bummer adult life stuff. I'm glad you could make it by real quick, though. I do hope to see you later, if you're not stuck in your meeting. Thank you so very much, you beautiful. Mwah. Ziggy's Dolls Costumes, $5. Hello, I love stuff. Makes me feel better. You make me feel better. On a daily basis, Siggy. Your presence and your smell, just like, that's some good aroma right there. Oh, yes, indeed. So they can gay their way through the sky. It does, though. It does. Look at that. It's so gay. It's so gay. Maybe, ooh, wait a second. Can I use this as a, because it has a little Velcro. Can I use this as like a headband for when I go to the gym? Can I use this as a headband for my gym exercise? Yeah, I think I can. Maybe I can. Oh, it's like an eye patch. I can use it as... Yar! Yar, we plunder the rainbow from God. I feel very silly today. I'm in a silly mood. This is amazing. Oh my god, that's beautiful. Did you know, Chad, that I'm on a new gym routine? I'm very happy. I'm already gaining weight. I'm gonna be the new Arnold. It's gonna be so good. Hell yeah. That's what I say after I'm like 2 weeks into my new routine. I'm like, yep. Basically, I'm a changed person. Ah, it's beautiful. Suki, thank you so much for the 5. Thank you so much for going live. Well, I did some pretty heavy training for work. By the way, ignore the caps lock it needed for my training. Sounds like pretty fun training. Yes, indeed. Can you imagine that? If you're in an office and you're just like, hey, colleagues, we found you a bit passive and boring. So from now on, we're going to lock all the keyboards in caps and we're going to remove the caps key. That's pretty interesting. It's going to be even more interesting if you do it with clients. Hello there, dear client. Do you want... yes, I think it's gonna sell better, honestly. Not me trying to find my comments on the stream, but it's a I'm so happy about it. I have a second one. I have a second one too. Wait, hold on. I have this one too. So like if, where's my other game plushies? Here's one. So this is the rainbow. Look how cute this is, okay? So it has the rainbow bow tie, right? And then if I just tie this one, like on the little back of this thing, and then just dress it up, check this out, and then I just Velcro this. This one is not as chunky as the demon, but look at this. It's so cute. It's like a little mango. He has like his little gay bow tie and his little gay. And oh my god, he's so cute. He's so cute. He's like yeah. I'll infect you with a gay. Oh, please, Mango. Please. God, we've talked about this. My God. So anyway, it's gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. So, so the plushies are gonna come with the little capes. That's the thing. So you get both a plushie and a cape. Like wow, who could resist such an offer? Not you. So anyway, Click, are you planning to re-release Mango? I mean, it's literally coming now, in like a month. This one with the little rainbow bow tie. So yeah, Mango will actually be re-released. Very good timing of the question. It's almost like I planned it, which I didn't actually. But it's gonna come back in like a month with a little extra bow tie. Look at this, it's so cute, and a little cape that is now hanging a bit weird because I didn't attach it properly. But you get the gist. You know, it's you can you can hide his butt when he's a bit like embarrassed in public. This is derailing really fast. The power! Indeed, it is power. This is power. You absolutely planned it. Please, chat, please. What I usually say in life, you know, and this is a very good saying for board games and stuff as well. If you invite your friends over board games, you simply tell them that if you win, it's pure luck. If I win, it's pure skill. That's how you move the RNG to your side. Mango is adorbs. He really is. I love Mango. Gay Agenda Monday. Be gay Tuesday. Be gay. Hey, Click. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. You and Topicky Bupicky helped me realize my naughtyality. That's so sweet. That is so sweet. I find it incredible that the internet can actually be used in a positive way to just make people find stuff they maybe normally wouldn't find and find themselves along with those things. It's very wholesome. It really is. Sometimes I forget how much of a cesspool the internet is sometimes. I had this experience with my most recent video. I really enjoyed making that video. Maybe it was like slightly more out there than my usual stuff, but whenever you put anything to do with woke in a video title, there's a certain like there's a certain demographic of people that find the video and they lose their shit. Like, I was scrolling, big mistake by the way, I was scrolling through like the spam filter of that video. Holy shit. That was wild. It reminded me a lot of when I made shorts more frequently, and on occasion you had a short that hit the general algorithm, and God forbid you had like a rainbow meme or something in the short. Have you seen the kind of demographic that watches shorts? It's fucking unhinged. So yeah, that's an experience. That's an experience. Sometimes I forget this corner of the internet that we have here isn't as sweet as other corners of the internet. My God. And it makes me happy. It makes me really happy in a weird way. Like, I'm not happy whenever I remember it, but it makes me happy to be here, if that makes sense. You should make a new Teehee video soon. I should, yeah. They are very fun. They're very fun. I wonder if the subreddit is still fun. Is the subreddit still fun? Sometimes subreddits go a bit down the gutter, don't they? Let's see. I'm gonna check it out. Teehee. Oh, I almost tipped over my soda on top of Gay Demon. That was not good. Okay, let's check it out. Teehee. Ooh. Okay, the first post is awful. I love it. Yeah, maybe this is good stuff. It's good stuff. I like that. Dear God. The Poetry Fanboy. Thank you so much for being a lasso, you beautiful being. By the way, chat, if you didn't know this, memberships on YouTube are cool. They're a cool way to support your favorite creator, which is me. Oh Okay, zooming out, reducing dramatic effect. Okay, there we go. That was a very good special effect. And if you become a member, either with a gift of membership or a membership yourself, you can actually get custom roles on the Discord if you just link your account to YouTube. And it's like, wow, I have fabulous colors and I'm impressing the peasants without them, which is the attitude you should have. I took a few friends to IKEA yesterday to get a fellow trans girl her first blåhaj, but literally 15 hours later, I'm now going out with her this week. Oh my god, that's amazing. Hell yeah, El, that is so wholesome and sweet. My god, you can bring your blåhajs with you. By the way, Chad, that is a good educational piece. It's actually pronounced blåhaj, which means blue shark. Blå is blue, and haj is shark, weirdly enough. So that's how you pronounce it. I see a lot of people being like, blaha. It's not blaha. Learn Swedish. Or don't, but at least learn this word. It's an important one. Everyone needs a blåhaj. It's very important. Blåhajs are very important. I have one myself. I have a blåhaj. It's very cute. I don't have it here right now, but I have a blåhaj. It's very cute. I was thinking about getting another one too, because I realized they come in 2 different sizes. I have the big one, and then I was thinking about getting a small one, but I feel like I have maybe too many plushies as it is. I'm just looking to my side here, and I have literally 5 boxes stacked. Like, just here, behind the camera, full of plushies, because all my closets are full of plushies. I have nowhere to put them. It's bad. It's really bad. And I have another box of 50 glow-in-the-dark demons. I need to start going to more conventions and stuff so I can give away more plushies. It's insane. Whenever I seem to encounter someone, nowadays, it's always when I'm not having anything with me. It sucks. It's so bad. Anyway, click, are we gonna see you in a, what, I don't know what that word, maid outfit, I know that word, with high stockings. Actually, Klaus, I was thinking about doing a maid outfit shoot this summer. When the vegetation in Sweden is a bit prettier, when everything is a bit greener, and I've been able to hit the summer gym for a bit, and I can like, you know, it's good. I'm starting to put on weight. It's nice, and I think it's good weight. I'm on a new gym routine. Because one thing I realized, when you're a YouTuber, this is a bit of a side tangent, but maybe it's an important side lesson. When you're a YouTuber, at least in my mindset, I always try to optimize everything. It doesn't mean that I don't like what I do, but what I mean is that, for example, when it comes to going to the gym, and this is something I started with during COVID, it was like, okay, I'll buy a couple of gym things for my home, and I also work from home, and I sleep at home, and then all of a sudden, I fucking did everything from home. Well, you know, give or take. Of course, I go outside to like see friends and stuff, but you know, too many of my activities were at home. I play video games with my friends at home. I work from home. I go to the gym at home, and it became too much. So I got a gym card and started going 4 days a week, like during lunch, because I love working out before lunch. It's amazing, and then you can just like stuff your face for lunch. It's amazing, and my god, it's a pick me up. It's amazing. Like the gym progress is one thing, but you just feel really good. You feel so good. So I don't know. I suppose the life lesson is that don't try to optimize everything in life too much, because eventually you lose life itself, which is kind of bad. Remember to live. Don't be a silly poo like me. Mickey, thank you so much for being a lasso. You're beautiful, and this one is all for you. Mwah. Taki, thank you so much for the 100 Swedish kronor. I click. I'm working on my final collection for one of my fashion design courses at uni. It's inspired by the Swedish forest and the trash in them. Think angry forest spirits clad in trash as a protest. That's really cool. That is really cool. I would love to see that. That sounds amazing. Oh my god. That can have some real proper humor in it. I have seen places like that sometimes, though, where that protest would make a lot of sense. I went to a place, I think I have a picture of it on my Instagram, I think. It's like a small hidden lake kind of thing. And they had blocked off the car path because there used to be so many parties there. But when they had the parties, everyone just left their trash. So we went there after the party period when, you know, the blockage was there and you had to park the car a while away and go hiking there instead. Super beautiful. Like there is sand, there is like forest around, it's like a lake. It's super beautiful, but there's so much fucking trash. So I don't know, that protest just reminded me of that place. It's so beautiful, but my god, what a shame. I hope someone managed to clean it up, because it was a lot. It was a lot. The lesson is, Chad, whenever you go camping or hiking or something, have a little plastic bag with you, because it's really easy to hang on the side of your bag, and then you can just put your trash in it. And it usually doesn't weigh that much because the trash is empty, right? So if you have like a hiking backpack, you just have a little trash bag hanging, you know, below it on the side. and you're good. You know, it's so easy. Your content is really fun. Love your laugh and voice. Sorry. Just watching like people unsubscribe. Thank you so much for the to you beautiful bean. Welcome in. Clean up the environment, everyone. Yeah, or at least like, you know, don't make it worse. You know, don't throw plastic in the ocean and stuff. It's pretty cool. Ari, thank you so much for the 5. YouTube won't let me join, but thank you for all the good stuff. I always look forward to watching your videos after work, especially after hard days. Oh, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. I'm so glad my like silly videos can like, I don't make a difference. It sounds so cheesy. I don't know, man. But when I look at everything today with doing YouTube, like sometimes I have bad days with it. Not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel like, oh my god, the internet is like really hostile and weird, or like you're worried about someone misinterpreting something you said, or you're worried about you know, safety or privacy or whatever it might be. You know, it comes and goes. But one thing that always keeps me going is how cool it is what we've been able to build. It's really unbelievable. Like, honestly, I'm not even saying it to be cheesy, you know. If you had showed me what this place is like today, when I first started doing it, I think I uploaded my first videos in the style I do today in 2018. That was before I did it on a regular basis. Then I started picking up the pace in 2019, and then eventually late 2019, early 2020, I started doing it as a job. It's been a while. It's been a while, and I remember my goal was to get a silver play button, because I had had a YouTube channel for a long time, but not big enough to get a silver play button. It was always like, you know, 40,000 subs. I did some music, some gaming, that kind of stuff, but never consistent enough to grow it that much. And nowadays it's like, holy shit. Are you serious? I don't know, it just kind of blows my mind. It doesn't feel real sometimes. It's weird. It's weird. What are you going to be doing this stream? Is this not enough? This that we have here? Lily? Isn't this enough? Come. Isn't this enough? Okay, sorry. Maybe that's too intense. Maybe that's too intense. I'm gonna scare people away. I mean, we don't have that much of a plan. Maybe we'll play a bit of games. Maybe we're gonna do some chatting. Maybe I'll whip up my guitar or something. A cozy Sunday stream. I just felt like catching up with the community. It feels good to do that. Klunska, thank you so much for being a lasso. Probably butcher that name. Mwah. Oh yeah, I did that too in my last video. maybe I should just do that sometimes on purpose. It seems to farm a lot of comments. You know? Because someone suggested a name, right? Which I think is an Irish name. And it's spelled Siobhan with an H, but it's pronounced like Siobhan, I think. Maybe I still got it wrong. I don't know. And I was trying to be cute and be like, oh, someone suggested this because this is the name of their sibling or something. I was like, I'm gonna add this name. This is cute. And then, I have like 500 comments telling me like, Click, you can't even pronounce the name. How dare you make confidently incorrect videos and you can't even pronounce an Irish name. Whew. It's pronounced Siobhan. Oh fuck, I'm still wrong. Holy shit. God damn it. Okay. Hello, Siobhan. No, it's Siobhan, according to another commenter. Another one says Siobhan. Fuck me, man. So much for me to try to be wholesome. God damn. It's called Siobhan. Okay, you know what? Maybe my conclusion is that it's just pronounced differently in different places. How about that? Is that a good conclusion? Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I'm trying my best. Okay, I can always blame dyslexia or something. It's fine. Blue Bell Uwu, thank you so much for the 5 Great Britain pounds. They're more valuable than the small Britain pounds. Hi, Click. Love your videos. My cat says hi. That is amazing. Pet the cat. Pet the cat for me. Give it a scratchy. Give it a little like one of these ones. Hell yeah. Why are you not in the stream? Yeah, why weren't you in the stream? I need to set up my stream deck again so I can do like funny camera transitions. I was thinking about splurging on another camera like this because I have a second camera set up for angles, but it's just a webcam. And it's always impossible to get the color grading right because it always looks really weird when you switch between them. So I was thinking about, you know what? Maybe I should splurge and get a second one of these. It feels weird because I would only use it for a total of like 30 seconds in each video, but maybe it's worth it. Maybe it like adds enough to justify it. I think I might do it. I think that could be really fun to mess around with. And then I'm gonna go bananas and have like one other camera in the roof and one under the desk, so I can do like floor crawly shots. That's gonna be good for the meme punchlines. Stop torturing his dyslexic brain. Thank you, Danica. DJ the Nerd, thank you so much for the 10. Hey, Click, I just got through my first semester of nursing school, and watching your videos while eating lunch in between classes sometimes was the only thing keeping me going. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I can relate to like feeling like you're going nuts sometimes in uni. My God. I remember we had a, what the hell was it? Some sort of assignment in numerical methods, I think, which is basically computerized math. You know, you do iterative steps to calculate things instead of calculating using formulas and stuff like that. That's the gist of it, right? And we were trying to crack this problem, and I remember we found ourselves at 3 a.m. or something on a Friday, shotting Jaeger to reduce the pain, programming our goddamn numerical codes, and I was like, what the fuck is this life, man? So yeah, uni sometimes makes you go insane. I'm glad you're getting through it. First semester down. Hell yeah. Keep going. Oogly, thank you so much for the 10 GP. Good evening, you beautiful people. Mwah, XX Oogly. My God, don't dare you call us beautiful. We all know that you're the beautiful one. You're a very talented person, have worked a lot. You deserve all the love and support. Aww. I remember I joined the community when you hit 400k subs on YouTube. That's almost 4 years ago. It is, isn't it? 400k, that must have been like the fall of 2020, I think. It was right like 6 months into COVID or something. God damn. So sorry, viewed Helldivers. Helldivers is amazing. I love democracy. Any advice for someone considering dropping out for the second time due to severe mental health issues? I was dead set on finishing my year this time, but it's really taking a toll on my will. Aww. I think I can't relate to the specific situation, sadly, but I had a couple of tough periods back when I was a student. I managed to get through it, but I think the mistake I made was that I waited too long with dropping things. Sometimes in life it's okay to drop some stuff, to just have the space to work on yourself or recover, and that's okay. And I think one important thing is that make sure that you're in a good place and take care of yourself. The other stuff you can also do later. You know, school, for example, depending maybe on where you live and financial stuff and that kind of thing, but in general, school doesn't have a time limit. And, you know, if you go back to your program in uni when you're, you know, it doesn't matter if you're 21 or 25, you know, it really doesn't matter that much. You're going to be working for like 45 years anyway. So as long as, you know, there aren't other issues around it, don't be worried about taking time off if you're feeling bad about it and it's really getting to you. If I had one advice for myself back in uni, because I had a really bad burnout when I was in 3rd grade, I believe. It was due to a bunch of stuff. I had too many jobs on the side. I was putting too much pressure on myself in the studies. I had like bad relationship experiences. It was like a bit of everything, you know. So all of life kind of sucked for way too long. And the mistake I did was not being honest with myself, like, hey, I'm really hurting. It's like, no, we're supposed to get through it because we're a man, or you know, whatever excuse I made for myself. And eventually you literally walk through the wall, and then it takes even longer to recover. It's okay to realize when you're hitting limitations or you're pulling yourself so you're stretched too thin, and taking a step back before it gets too bad is a favor to yourself, and it's something that everyone needs to do at some point in their life, and it's perfectly normal. So that's something I would have told myself when I was younger. Da Butterfly, thank you so much for the 10, you beautiful bean. Mwah. Absolutely amazing. Mega Lost Lion, thank you so much for the 10. You didn't acknowledge my last super chat. I didn't? What? Oh my God, I thought I did. I'm so sad. But I acknowledged a double and now. Mwah. You win the other 10. Go back to work now by click. Oh my God, it feels like a good manipulative way of getting memberships and super chat. I pretend I didn't see them all. Oh my God, they came again. God, that's awful. Kaliki, today is my birthday. Thanks for the stream today. The Indigo System, happy birthday. I do hope you eat just a bit too much cake. Click also helps me cope with a crushing loneliness. Aww. I think loneliness is difficult in certain parts of life, for sure. I mean, it can be something as simple as not fitting in where you are right now. Like, it doesn't matter if you go to school and meet 100 people every day, if you don't actually fit in. Zach, thank you so much for the 1, and Suki, thank you so much for the 2. Read my fanfic on Reddit yet? I have it saved, but I haven't read the whole thing yet. But I have it saved, it's primed. Loneliness is difficult, I think, and it's difficult for different reasons for different people. It can be something as simple as you go to school where you technically have a lot of people around you. You know, you have a bunch of teachers, other kids, maybe you do a sport in your free time, but if you don't actually fit in, you're kind of lonely anyway. You know, physical presence isn't necessarily a cure for loneliness. If you're older, for example, it can just be hard to make friends because you don't know where to meet people. Most of the friends I have met through things. You know, friends just don't come out of nothing. Most of my friends are from people I got to know in uni because we did the same things, or older friends I met back in school or when I was a kid, or, you know, some friends I met via YouTube and what I do here for a job. But my point is that all the friends come from somewhere, and that's something I've realized is like trickier when you're older because no one has the time anymore. Everyone is show up OP. You can be alone while surrounded by people. Yeah, loneliness and like physical presence aren't necessarily the same thing. I think the physical presence is required to have fulfilling friendships, at least a lot of the time. With the internet, there's a bit of an exception, but I would still argue there's like a different level to it. You can do more with the friendship if it's in person, of course. But, so it's not that black and white really in the modern world, but, yeah, physical presence doesn't necessarily equal not lonely. The 22, thank you so much for being a Lazo, you beautiful bean. And Jasmine, thank you so much for the 5. I always seem to miss the lives, I'm so glad I caught this one. I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a pretty good day, thank you very much. I went out and had some lunch today, took a walk in the sun. I picked up a couple of vinyls, that was cool. I have built like a new vinyl shelf here that you may have noticed. I really like it. It's quite cool. I haven't put up everything yet. I have a bunch of like vinyls here on the side. I have like a bit of like Dio vinyls. They're good. Satanic shit. Love that. What more do we have? Got some like Iron Maiden. It's good stuff, baby. Hell yeah. Ooh. Fleetwood Mac is good. Hell yeah. It's good stuff. Like Thin Lizzy, baby. Oh, it's classic. Yeah. I don't know. One thing I realized when I started, because I got this whole thing going as a little hobby with vinyls because I had these speakers I took over when my grandpa passed away. This little enhancer here in the middle and the speakers. And I wanted to make something cool with it because it was something that he really loved. The music and listening to it and that kind of thing. We don't really have the same taste in music, so to say, or did have, but our like love for music was very relatable, and so I wanted to really make the most of something I took over from him, and that was these speakers. They're like 50 years old, so I'm currently working on them. I'm replacing the membranes and stuff, freshening them up. This piece is beautiful. Everything is like wooden, so I bought this like new shelf here to match specifically the wood. It's really cool, and I started like collecting vinyls because of it, and the sound with vinyls is amazing. Oh my god, I love it. It's so cool. Hell yeah. So it's that kind of silly little hobby. So once in a while I go past like a music store or something and I'll treat myself to a new vinyl that I see that stands out, like, oof, that's one of my old classics. Hell yeah. And I pick it up. So it's good stuff. It's really nice. It's just something that lives on, kind of. I like it. My uncle gave me his old amplifier and adapter. It's awesome. The amplifier is around 60 years old and still works perfectly. Yeah, the same thing here. I think these things are the speakers and the amplifier. I had to buy a new preamp as well, but that's because of this thing. There is no like preamp thing between this and this because everything is old and weirdly matched. So I had to buy a separate preamp. So there's shit tons of cables and stuff hidden in this thing, like behind it, to make everything work in between them. But took a bit of work, but now it sounds amazing. But yeah, no, they're really old. I think these ones were probably bought in like the 70s or something like that, 60s or 70s. So they're really old. It's kind of cool. They're much older than I am. They're like twice my age. So sometimes I forget Click is not a native speaker. Fam, I get in trouble for that sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. Oh my god, I've had so many times when I make videos and I say something like, what is this? I don't get it. And I'll have like angry comments being like, how can he not know this? This is so ignorant. Or for example, like a very specific nuance of something that is offensive somewhere else in the world, but I've never heard about it, you know, and stuff like that. And I'll get like angry people being like, how can you not know this? Is he ignoring this on purpose? And it's like, I'm not, I'm just a little Swede. I don't know. So yeah, sometimes I've legit gotten in trouble for it. It's kind of wild. Ash, thank you so much for the 5. Yesterday was my mom's birthday. She had... Aww, that is so sad. I do hope you got to have like a nice memory with family. Celebrating memories is very valuable. I do hope you got to do that with your loved ones. I want to go to Sweden. Pick the summer. Summer in Sweden is very nice. Winter sucks ass. Hello, Daddy Click. Watching you in background as I do speedruns. That is very, very nice. Hell yeah. Quality of music recording has gone downhill comparatively, in my opinion, over the years. You get YouTube recordings from pro bands that sound almost as good as old vinyl. Yeah. I think it also depends on what music you listen to. You know, a lot of the music that you see on the top list, for example, isn't perhaps comparable to like some timeless classics. And that's because it's different music for different purposes, you know. The stuff you see on the top list this week is stuff like, this is the party music that we're listening to right now. It's what is popular on TikTok. It's like, it's fun beats, fun lighthearted music, but it's not like timeless classics, you know? It's different music for different purposes. It doesn't mean that one is necessarily bad, but it's just different things. And I think that's important to keep in mind with it as well. Because sometimes I see people comparing the two, and to some extent, I believe they have a point. But on another hand, on a more nuanced take, I also believe things are sometimes compared that aren't really comparable. Or they're not for the same purpose. You know, a nice party beat song that sings about big butts doesn't necessarily have the same purpose as like a deep John Lennon lyric, you know. Kitty got the scratches you asked for? Hell yeah, Blue. That's absolutely amazing, I love that. How long have you been streaming for? Right now, not very long. Maybe it is, looks to be, 36 minutes. Very nice. Notice me, senpai. Ooh. Apparently, my rescue cat likes your voice. He's pretty much pressed up against my laptop speakers. That is so sweet. Oh my god, cat ASMR, hell yeah. What is up, Clicky? You asked why I ain't in the stream, so I have come. Good choice. Good choice. You have remedied your lack of being in the stream. How do I ask for emotional support demon with rainbow horns without my parents being extremely confused? I mean, I think the horns are more subtle. That was kind of the idea with the designs. Like, one is like more, you know, this one is more like in your face, kind of very obvious. And the horns is more like, yeah, you know, I can see that it kind of blends into the design in a different way. Same with the mango, kind of. It's like, you know, oh, it's just a little colorful thing, you know? So, I mean, maybe the cape makes it obvious. maybe the cape is kind of obvious. Should I say why you not click the stream? Oh my, oh, that's a good one. That's a good title. I'll have to do that next time. Ooh. Are the Pride plushies limited edition? I mean, it's a campaign thing, so it's more like limited time, you know? So, I suppose the answer is sort of? If people like them, I will probably rerun them next year as well. So I think a lot of the plushies land in that sort of category where in the moment they are technically limited because they're only on sale for a certain amount of time, but the intention isn't to make limited edition merch, if that makes sense. So if a plushie does well and people want it to be relaunched, I will relaunch it. You know, we've done this with Mango. with this one, Mango will have been released 3 times, plus a keychain. The Demon has been released, first the original, glow-in-the-dark keychain, and now it's a permanent. So it's been released 4 times. 5 times now, actually, with this one coming up. 6 times if you count both rainbow designs. So it's gonna have 6 separate releases. So I think that's a more detailed explanation. You know, I don't release things with the intention of them never being available again, because I don't know. Part of having limited edition stuff is charming in a way, but I've never enjoyed, for example, FOMO marketing. You know, I enjoy the hype around a campaign, but I don't like the FOMO aspect. I want people to like buy it because they genuinely want it and they feel like it's their choice, not because it's like, oh, I might regret it if I don't buy it. It's like, no. Even if it's a really good marketing method, I've never been 100% comfortable with it. So that's part of the reason that I really want to rerun things and why I pushed so hard for having the demon permanently in stock. And also to just outcompete the scammers that were like on Amazon and stuff that tried to pretend they had demons, and they were like either garbage quality or they, you know, aren't even real, or just stole photos from Makeship and stuff. It's bad. Fujiyama, thank you so much for the 5 Canadian. I received 500 Canadian for a grad show art piece. Oh, I want to give you a little piece of it, thanks. May the ducks bring you joy. Oh my god, I'm gonna start feeding the ducks again. Ah, spring is here. Thank you so much, that's amazing. Congratulations, that is so cool. Hell yeah. Click is live. They instantly better. It's better because you're here. Oh yes, indeed. Watch the stream all the way through or study for my math test. Why not do both? Let's bring out the whiteboard. I mean, honestly, you can do both. I very often used to listen to stuff when I was studying, like a calming ASMR or like some lo-fi beats or something like that. It's quite nice. Sometimes it makes you focus better. Click, when you come with the idea of doing plushies, it's very spontaneous, I think. Ideas like that are very rarely forced, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure if I have a good explanation for it. It happens very organically, you know? Even Mango started as a meme when I was streaming Raft, because there's a shark enemy. And then land sharks were really popular at the time because of other characters in media and stuff that were land sharks, and it was very memey in like various meme videos and that kind of stuff, and eventually the character was born. The demon started off as a really bad paint from me when I was like, oh, look at this cursed video. We all need an emotional support demon on our shoulder, and I whipped up paint and just drew a really ugly demon thing, and people really latched on to the idea of like an emotional support demon, and then it went through a bunch of iterations, eventually landed in what it looks like today. So it's a very organic process. You just kind of know when something like clicks. Haha, yeah. Lisa, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships to Beautiful Bean. That's way too amazing. This one is all for you. Mwah. Oh my god. And Alice, thank you for the 5. Would you like a tomato plant? Ooh, I've accidentally planted way too many. I don't have the space for them. I am just in the process of planting my own, actually. It's gonna be amazing. Oh my god. I hope it works better than a couple of years ago. I've had mixed results. Last year, I did okay. I got some tomatoes. The year before that, I forgot to cut them, so they just turned into long sticks and nothing happened. I think I got 1 tomato. It was like one massive stick and one little tomato at the end. It was so sad. So this year I'm gonna do it a bit differently. It's gonna be nice. One really good life hack I've been reading up on is that if you grow them indoors, and then when it's warm enough, you bury them deep outside. Like, not just the roots, but if, you know, you have a tall tomato plant, you bury the whole stem, basically. Because then it grows really thick and strong. That's at least the life hack I've read about. That's supposed to work really well. Do you think you will do more positive videos like the one you did the other day about the positive subreddit? Loved it. Yeah, maybe. You know what the ironic part is? I get about as much crap from doing positive videos from doing like negative videos or cursed videos, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of funny. That's one thing I learned when I grew the channel to a certain point, that no, there's a certain amount of people that are never happy. It is amazing. If I make a positive video, you get a bunch of comments that are like, You're just ignoring the issues. Or you're pretending the world is perfect. Look at you. No, that's not the point. The point is to be motivating. It's like it's good to care about things because sometimes it actually makes a difference. That's the thing. God, fuck. And if I make a negative one, it's like, oh, this is so sad and stupid. Oh man, maybe I should just play Helldivers instead. I'll just make a complete 180 as a creator. I'll just play Helldivers 24/7 instead. It's gonna be easier. Hell yeah, no one can hate democracy. Generic name, that is way too generous. Oh my god, thank you so very much. Världen allting audio samplar sina hörlurar. Wait, let's see. Oh my god, I've messed up the windows. There we go. And the thing with it, it's oh, that is amazing. That is amazing. Oh, that's amazing. That's so good. Yeah, I love like speaker stuff and audio and things. It's very cool. I'm not particularly good at it, I don't think. I'm just like tinkerish with the stuff I have. So, you know, if you ask me for recommendations with headphones, I would just recommend the ones I have because I listen to a few different ones and these are the ones I like the most, you know? But it's not like I'm I know headphones in general. Same thing as with microphones. I mean, sure, I've tried a few ones in my days. I know the difference between like condenser microphones and stuff, but in terms of like all the different brands and price classes and stuff, I'm usually just like, no, this one is nice. That's why I bought it again when my old one broke, because I really like the sound. I think it complements my voice as well. It has like that old, slightly warm retro radio vibe to it. And it's not even processed. Like right now, what you hear in the stream, it's not processed at all. It's completely raw. In videos, I have a small equalizer on it, but not when I'm live. That is way too generous. Thank you so very much. You beautiful bean. This one is all for you. Mwah. It's amazing that it still sounds good today. It's so cool when you get to have audio things that like really survives. It's amazing, isn't it? Oh my god, that's so cool. Jamie, thank you so much for being a lasso, you beautiful bean. Mario, thank you so much for the 10, you beautiful bean. Do you know that your job has a big impact on people's lives? My life. Okay, when people find things about themselves out and the silly, funny help bring out a little bit of light into someone else's life, it's very cool. I'm always, I don't know, I've always had mixed feelings about it, right? Because, let me try to explain what I mean. I think it's a bit of a tricky topic to explain and have it make sense. So, for example, in the beginning, when I started making content that was more commentary or discussion based, whatever you want to call it, or just, you know, positive memes or whatever, I had people come to me and be like, oh my god, you changed this and impacted this and that. And my reaction was kind of like, yeah, really funny. It's like, I just read memes. Come on now, to be serious. But then I took a step back and I realized that, but wait a second, I've actually found a lot of, for example, comfort and stuff in various things throughout my life. And the creators of those things don't necessarily know that, or maybe even have the intention for it. It's just like media I like, or nostalgic things, or whatever it might be. So, I think it's an interesting topic, right? It's an interesting topic. So, I don't know, just like thinking out loud. I didn't really have a proper conclusion with that. Sophie, thank you so much for being a royal lasso. That's way too generous. Make sure to pick up a special role on the Discord. Yes, indeed. You can show the peasants that you have the coolest role. Oh, yes, indeed. Truth hidden in darkness. Thank you so much for that lasso. You beautiful being. Chat is absolutely amazing today. My god, it's insane. Jesus Christ. Maybe I should just be a full-time streamer like this. I can just sit here and talk. It's amazing. I just sit here and I get compliments. It's so good. It's a pretty good job. Better than Shorts comments, at least. Those are the worst. R.I.P. We're all worthless. What? Chaos? That is just not true. God, silly bean. Akio, thank you for the 5. Super important question. Shall I order pizza or KFC? Ooh, that is a tough choice. Can you order pizza with KFC on it? That would be like the ultimate. Oh yes, indeed. I am a passion. I agree, math is amazing. Math is amazing when you get to actually use it for stuff, and you get to do the cool things it can do. I don't know, I think the way we treat math in educational context, for example, is like, imagine if you were teaching someone how to build a house, but all you did was just let them smack nails into a board for 3 years straight. They'd be incredibly fucking bored. They wouldn't want to work with building houses, because they think that all building houses is about is smacking nails into a board while sitting on your ass in a garden. Like, of course it's boring, you know? Some of that is like learning by doing, of course. Like, some of it you have to do, but I think you lose sight of the things you can actually do with it, which is a bit of a shame. Notice me, senpai. Oh. Can you say hi to my cat, Buster? He's 20 years old and still going strong. Oh my god. Buster, you old boy. My god. That is amazing. 20 years. Är du svensk? Nej. Click. I quote you to my friends and they find you funny. That is amazing. Yes, that is so good. Sometimes I quote myself. I'm like... I do that sometimes in videos where, like, I reference or recycle jokes from other videos that actually kind of works. I do joke about that sometimes, that at some point my content will become an infinite cycle. I just react to memes made about my own reactions, you know? It's so good. It's so good. How to create an infinite content farm, baby. Hell yeah. You should play Carry On stream sometime. It's fun. I have no idea what that is. I might check it out, though. Thank you so much for the 5, Jack, you beautiful bean. Mwah. I want to send you some fan art. Where should I? Fan art channel in the Discord. that is the best place to send fan art. Yes, indeed, because it's a channel completely dedicated to it. So when you tag me, for example, in fan art on Twitter, it's easy that I get spammed away if there's a day with a lot of notifications and stuff. But in Discord, it's completely dedicated. So that's where I go to check out fan art primarily. I mean, the Reddit is good as well. But on the Discord, I'm more like guaranteed to see it. It's nice to know other people have more thoughts about memes than just a knee-jerk reaction. In terms of like discussing it, or I mean, I suppose so. It's always nice. I find the mix very nice. Sometimes I just want to sit and record a video of just like stupid cursed hole-up memes. You know, it's just funny. It's stupid, and sometimes I want to like talk more about it if I make like, you know, an insane parents maybe, or that kind of stuff. Hey, Click, I graduated high school. What are your tips for adult life? Ooh. Well, that's a good one. I mean, I suppose stuff I would have told myself if I went back in time, I suppose. I think it's like, you don't have to rush things. You don't have to, like, you know, figure out what you're doing overnight. You know, no one really does that. Everyone is less productive than you think they are. At least for me, I remember when I was young, it was very easy to feel like, you know, oh my god, I just played video games this Saturday, or I just did this and that. Truth is, 90% of people are grossly inefficient, and that sounds a bit mean, you know? So it's not quite like that what I mean it, but what I mean is that I always felt bad for example, relaxing, but then I realized that this is what everyone does. People, 90% are not efficient, meaning that we're not machines, you know? And that goes for you as well. So I think that's something important to know and carry with you. Another thing for me is like learning when you're reaching your limit with something, and this can be a lot of things. One mistake I made was with the burnout when I was in uni. I tried to push through it, which was like the bad thing to do. I should have just dropped a couple of things and like recovered, and then I could keep going, you know? The same thing was with alcohol. Don't go hard your first time. I was, nothing bad happened. I was just hungover for 2 days. It sucked. But it's good to not push limits regarding things too soon, perhaps. At least with those kind of things. And you don't have to rush things in life, because I think most of the time you know when you're ready for something. This was the experience I had, for example, with, well, high school. It was the experience I had when I started university and moved away from, you know, the kind of gap year lifestyle. It's the feeling I had when I graduated university. It's the feeling I had when I moved away from an office job and started doing this. At every time, I felt like, you know, I had a good period here, but I'm very done with it. You know, this chapter is closing. It was a good one, but I don't want to be here forever. And I think that feeling is really important to go after. And you kind of know when you're ready for the next thing. So not forcing it, I suppose. It's a good idea. Lisa, thank you so much for the 10. My friend's baby said her first word today. It was Ente, duck in German. I love that. I might have led her along. Hell yeah, that's a good leading along. She said it 3 times, so no coincidence. Am I bad influence? No, great influence. She already has a little ESD. Oh my god, amazing influence. Yes, that is how we do it. Jacob, thank you so much for the 10. Hi, Click. Been watching your videos since before COVID and wanted to say happy birthday for my brother Sabbath. Also, I have bought every plushie I plan on getting. That is today's amazing. Oh my god. Wish your brother happy birthday. That sounds amazing. Tell them they have to eat a bit too much cake. Yes, indeed. First, so to reveal, I don't know what that is. People in my chat just make up words sometimes. I feel like I'm being gaslit here. God. It really clicks if you realize that resting is as productive as completing a task. Yeah. Yeah, it really is. That's something that I sort of had to force myself to learn when I started doing YouTube. Because the difference between YouTube and, for example, the day job was that I never clocked out. So I remember in the beginning I was working like 90-hour weeks, 100-hour weeks, because it was like in the middle of COVID, nothing was happening. I was working from home. So I just, you know, at 8 in the morning when I woke up, I went to my computer, started looking for memes, recording, editing, doing everything, streaming, and then I turned off my computer at like 11 at night, and then repeat. You know, it was nothing but just laser-focused work, which I suppose was fine in the pandemic. Nothing else happened anyway, so, you know, if I'm gonna spend that much time, like, building up a job, might as well do it then. But then after a while I realized that some days I would be too tired to really be good at what I do, or be creative, or have the right energy in a video, for example. And I could just sit, for example, and stare at a thumbnail and be like, something is bad here, I don't even know what the fuck. And then I would just go to bed, sleep, and the next morning I'm like, got it, and I fixed it in 10 minutes. So, you know, the night before I would just sit and stare at it for 3 hours because my brain was too tired, I didn't hit that inspo. And then the next day it's just like, 10 minutes, done, perfect. And that's sort of when I realized that the resting aspect is just as an important piece as the active work hours when you try to achieve things. It's like recovery when you're working out, you know? If you're just hitting weights and never resting, your body's never gonna like build up anything. You need both. You need both the recovery for your brain and body to process what you've done and rebuild and, you know, rest up and everything. So realizing that sleep, rest, both mentally and physically, is just as important as the activity itself. It's a combination that makes it, not one of them. So, of course, resting all the time means you're not going to do anything. Working all the time means that you're going to be incredibly inefficient and barely achieve anything because you're going to be so tired and always be in power save mode. So, like, it's the balance that makes it work. Hey, Click, I'm graduating on Friday. Can you attend? I mean, I doubt it. I'm also at work. I just used the line, I don't want to have naughties with you on a transphobe, and now she's crying! Oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Hell yeah. I love that the comebacks we come up with and traumatize them back is working so well IRL. That's beautiful. Hell yeah. Have a really fun graduation. That sounds amazing. Hell yeah. Charlie, thank you so much for the 5. Watching your vids makes bad subreddits bearable. It's like watching bad movies through the filter of Mystery Science Theater. Yeah, it's like, you know, if you having beer with a friend and you're watching shitty movies together or something like that. You know, it makes it funny. I think I pronounced that correctly. It's Danish, if you're asking. Thank you so much, Mary, you beautiful bean. Mwah. Love my Danish folk. Why did that sound so sarcastic? Jesus. Okay. Oh my god. No, okay, everything is blowing up. Please. Please. My puppies want to say hi. Jody, thank you so much. Oh, pet them from me, please. Chaos Cake, thank you so much for being allowed. So, Margaret Fox, do you like K-pop? I do have a couple of K-pop songs in my playlist, gonna be honest. I wouldn't consider myself a K-pop stan, but I've listened to a few songs. Some of them I like. Clicky videos make my day go faster. In a good way. Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you. Hopeless Geek, thank you so much for being a member. Research is a lot like YouTube. You can always do more. Yeah, it really is. You're never done completely, which is a blessing and a curse. Love when you recommend books. Any fiction recommendations? Oh, I don't read enough fiction nowadays, but I do have a really good one that I read a few years ago, which is called Childhood's End. Really good book. Really good book. It's about aliens coming to Earth and how they're guiding civilization. And the book takes place over like a 100 or 150 year span, right? So every like chapter of the book has a different main protagonist from the human's perspective, right? So in the beginning of the book you have the human that like is there when they first come to Earth and everything that comes along with it. And then you have another human you follow when like humanity gets into its golden age. And then you have another human towards the end of the book, which I'm not gonna spoil. That's a really good one. Childhood's End. It's by Arthur C. Clarke, so very classic. Hi, Click. Have a great afternoon. Thank you so much, Stan, you beautiful bean. Mwah. Uh-oh, have you heard of the game In Stars and Time? It's a very cool game, and I think you might like it. I might check that one out, too. Thank you so much, Kuro, you beautiful bean. Thank you for the 5. Mwah. Yes, indeed. Life is amazing. All Dan Brown books? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Random question. What do you think about synthesizers? This is yet another Sweden moment, by the way. Like, in terms of music, I think it can be really cool. I've seen people do some really cool stuff with it. It's super hard to pick a girl name for myself. I named my stuffed animals like Pangy the Penguin. Do you have any name ideas for me? My dead name is Devin. Ooh, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. It's like the tricky part of when you have so many good options, right? Like how do you choose the right one for you? Ooh. I would probably like collect a list of names and try them out and see which one I vibe with the most. That's probably how I would do it. That's a pretty decent idea. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That one guy, thank you so much for the 6. I want to become a member again, but my PayPal is acting up, so take a super chat. Oh, thank you so very much, you beautiful. Mwah. Click, can you read more ADHD memes with Bingo Snälla? That's not a bad idea. Maybe. I'm giving it a bit of room because the thing with like very specific subreddits is that you need to leave it alone for a while, because otherwise you kind of repeat the same stuff you've already said, you know, if that makes sense. So I'm giving it a bit of breathing room, but I definitely intend on doing it again. I had a lot of fun the last time. That was not Danish. It was definitely Danish. It was definitely Danish. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fluent in Danish. Do you want to play Lethal Company again? Yeah, I'm gonna play Lethal Company again. Oh, it's such a good game. It's such a good game. I'll probably end up doing it with my friends. It's so good. Click, please. A woman, life, freedom. What? What does that mean? Would love you doing r/a romantic. There are so many good subreddits. Oh my god. It's amazing, isn't it? Such a beautiful internet world. Clicky, thank you for inspiring me to start working out and become a manly giga chat. Hell yeah, that's how we do it. I think working out is very nice. I've never been, you know, a professional or anything like that, you know, but it makes you feel really good, fam. It makes you feel good. And one thing I realized, this was actually something I had like this epiphany today, which was wild. Back when I was young, when I was like, you know, 19, 20, time went slower, right? Time feels like it's going faster when you're a bit older. I think it's just because things in life repeat themselves. Every year is less of an impact and a smaller portion of your total lifespan. So it feels like time goes faster, right? That's the experience I've had, especially when I hit my 30s. But the positive side to that is when it comes to working out is that you feel like you make progress really fucking fast. Because back when I was 19, 20, I was always like, oh my god, I've been working out for so long and nothing happens. And now I'm like, damn, 2 weeks passed like nothing. Oh, I can see a bit of change there. Hell yeah. You know, it's like, that's the amazing part of it. Amazing part of being old. Time goes fast, so you see progress with gym fast. Hell yeah. Kuro, thank you so much for being a lasso. You're beautiful, and this one is all for you. Mwah. Click with that sweet, smexy voice of yours. You should do a creepypasta channel. Oh, yes, indeed. Steve went into the cursed house. The creepypasta was leaking down from the ceiling, engulfing his skull like creepy, slimy hair you would expect on a shitty Halloween costume. Oh no, not the creepypasta! Steve, in the creepypasta story, said, I'm getting it right, aren't I? I'm nailing this. Okay, I know what creepypastas are. Okay, before before chat freaks out on me. Clearly, next up is cooking with Click. Creepy cooking with Click. Today we're gonna boil bat brains. Oh my, holy shit! What subreddits are you never gonna review, Click? Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, I follow a bunch of subreddits just because, like, it's interesting to keep up with things, but I would never follow them. Or I would never review them for a video, if that makes sense. You know, I follow a bunch of, like, for example, YouTube-related subreddits, but, you know, there's no point in me, like, let's see, there's no point in me covering those for a video. You know, it's just stuff I keep up with. I follow a bunch of subreddits for video games I play, because it's just fun, but I don't think I would ever cover it, because it doesn't make sense for a video. What else do I follow? Let's see, what do I actually have? Communities. What would I actually... And then I follow some subreddits that are, like, interesting to read because it gives you a bit of insight into specific stories, but the subreddit itself might be too heavy. Like, for example, there's one subreddit I follow called Abuse Survivors, which I think is really valuable awareness, but it's too heavy, I think at least, to make an entire video of. But I will take snippets and words of wisdom from stories I hear from stuff like that and use it in less condensed form in other videos, for example, insane parents and that kind of stuff. So that happens a lot. What else do I have that I wouldn't make a video of? I have other subreddits that just don't hit the same they used to do. Like No, I Get the Boat, for example, isn't what it used to be. It's not funny anymore. It's just like dark news headlines, which is kind of sad. What else? Oh yeah, one I was recommended a bunch but it's a bit of time ago now. I think it's much less popular than it used to be. Was fake disorder cringe. I didn't want to cover because there were a few examples, like a couple years ago, of people getting outed for faking various disorders and stuff, especially on TikTok. And some of them turned into like real big like stories and cases. It was kind of wild, like how people would build up an entire persona just for clout, and then it turns out it was all false. That was kind of insane. But the problem with these kind of things is that if you're going to discuss it in a nuanced way, a subreddit calling out fake disorder cringe has a relatively high likelihood of just doing collateral damage, if that makes sense. I know a couple of people that actually came to me when I was getting it suggested and said like, hey, I actually ended up on this subreddit, and I have like legit diagnosis and stuff, but because I guess they thought my TikTok was cringe, I ended up here. So I think the discussion around those kind of topics needs to be very nuanced, because on one hand, TikTok isn't a great place to find a diagnosis. On the other hand, online communities can be very good for making people find people with similar struggles. I also think there's a vacuum in the mental health industry. It's too difficult to seek mental help, and that's part of the reason why, for example, this stuff on TikTok got so popular, because there are no options for a lot of people. And then I think there is one aspect that is clout chasing. Whenever something is popular or taking off, there is going to be nefarious actors doing weird things with it, and this we saw a few times being actually exposed, like when it was the most popular. So I think it's a very nuanced topic, and just covering it in like a haha laugh at cringe, I feel could easily backfire in that way. Fake disorder cringe was a trash. I am glad it's not that popular anymore. Delete my Instagram because of the fear of ending up there. I'm diagnosed with autism and ADHD. Exactly. That's like the downside. It's like I get the point of it, right? In terms of that, hey, spreading misinformation about things online, for example, is bad. That might be as harmful as pooping on this kind of stuff. You know, it's harmful behavior. But on the other hand, random internet users, you're not going to have... Some of them have nefarious intentions. They just want to post cringe to bully people and karma farm. And they're not going to know enough about the person nor the diagnosis itself to oftentimes tell if it's real or not. It usually lands in a territory where, like, this is cringe enough, so I think it's fake. I think it's a too nuanced and too sensitive topic to boil it down into those sort of memes, if that makes sense. And it would be really interesting to discuss that kind of thing, because like I said, there are many aspects. So I just mentioned a few on the top of my head, like, the different nuances that come with it. So I think some people that engage with that subreddit probably has good intentions, but I'm also afraid it easily backfires because of the reasons I mentioned. So that was a subreddit I got recommended a bunch that I never actually covered. Click, thank you for noticing me. Sorry, we aren't worthless after all. Is Pride Demons and Mango coming June? That is the plan. Yes, indeed. I have little gay capes as well. Look at that. It's so cute. Oh, they are. They will. And you will definitely hear about it when they come out. I'll make a lot of noise, so don't worry, Ray. Thank you so much. Have you considered r/liminal space? A lot of cool stuff there. Also, a few other games to check out are Geometry Dash, Super Liminal, and Happy Game. I'm gonna check that out. Sounds cool. Thank you so much, Jake. Your optimism vid was super helpful for my anxiety. Would you consider making it a regular thing? Thank you for your light in the world. Leaf, thank you so much, you beautiful bean. Part of the video was like the book thing, and I don't find books that are specifically realistic optimism like that often. So in that way, I feel like the video is slightly unique, but I would like to do something similar to that on occasion. It's a very cool thing to do, even if YouTube doesn't like it. If that makes sense, the algorithm doesn't like it. The algorithm likes rage bait. Unironically. Butterfly Pikachu, thank you so much for being a last, you beautiful bean. And Kuro, thank you so much for being a last, you beautiful bean. Absolutely amazing. Look at that. Oh, yes, indeed. Do you plan on giving some profits from Pride Plushies to LGBT charities? I think there is, I'm not sure if I have the paperwork. I believe there is a default donation baked into the whole campaign. if I remember correctly. Let me see if I can find it. I don't have it like on the top here, but that is like part of the idea, right? That it does support charities. Let's see. It's kind of a mess because I'm just in a group. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. So the data I have right now is doing a Pride event this year. Find more info here. Makeship will be donating 10% of sales from all Pride campaigns to charity. So that's like the initial, at least. So that's like the minimum that is just by default. Then I haven't planned anything on top of that yet, but we shall see. So that's like the minimum that is baked into the campaign by default, so to say. So 10% of the plushies is gonna go to charity. Is there this new subreddit called Fnurri-Irl? Is there though? Is there actually a subreddit called that? I wouldn't know. That sounds like it might be a lie to make me to look at something nefarious. My god. Probably the best that he didn't cover that subreddit. Even for those who are faking, probably have some underlying undiagnosed issue. It's a shame when people are so quick to judge. Yeah, exactly. That's another thing. I remember, for example, I've seen the confusion, probably with good intention, in confidently correct videos as well, when some people would argue like, oh, you have this and this. You must have autism. But the things they mentioned are also prevalent in, for example, ADHD. Or you have people claiming that ADHD is the same thing as autism, which is also not true. So it's, I think there is... it's just a lot. It's a lot, and I feel like mental health is just too inaccessible at the moment, which is a bummer. And I think that vacuum gives a lot of space to things that are oftentimes well-meaning. Sometimes they're clout chasey, but all in all, it's difficult to know which one all the time. Hey there, Click and Company, first live stream viewer, but longtime fan. What is up? I hope all is well, friends. Welcome, you beautiful bean. I do hope you enjoy your stay. Do you ever think you'll do another D&D memes or chaotic good video? Yeah, definitely. D&D memes I do cover on a pretty regular basis, I guess. I cover it like a little now and then. Chaotic good I've been thinking about doing. That one is very nice. I like it. You should play Library of Ruina. It's a really fun game. Oh, okay, that's cool. That sounds nice. Making handmade garlicky cheese-filled buns. Would you like some? Yeah. Yeah, put it in an envelope and send it to me. It might be a bit crusty by the time it gets here, but it will be worth it. Red pill gives you autism. Blue pill gives ADHD. Me consumes both. Well, Neo, here is the blue pill if you want ADHD. Or you can take the autism. Oh! Neo! I've actually looked at that subreddit before. I regret it. It's the Scoos tag. I think subreddits like that very easily lose the plot, right? I wouldn't be... I don't know the history behind the subreddit, but I wouldn't be surprised if it started off as like, ooh, a couple of users who, for example, might be on the spectrum or have something else, and they're like, damn, this influencer over here, for example, is obviously spreading misinformation. This sucks. And, trying to bring it to light, but then it very quickly devolves into just kind of bully-esque territory, where it's more about the cringe than it is to, like, combating misinformation, and that's when the collateral damage happens, and it just becomes bad. So, I don't know. I think things like that very easily just escalate in the wrong direction online. Because not everyone who joins in on that kind of thing is going to have the best interest in mind. I think it's part of it. Part of it, actually, I have a reasonably good comparison I think might be pretty similar in behavior. For example, when I go on Twitter sometimes, whenever someone has done something bad, it can be varying degrees of bad, and there is some sort of cancellation, or whatever you want to call it, some outrage, maybe is a better word for it, on Twitter, a surprisingly large portion of it compiles of people who are really fucking nasty themselves, right? And I think this is sort of like a similar thing. It's, I think, a decent portion of stuff like this, which is why movements like that often derail online, is that a lot of the people that are drawn to it are people that just want to be assholes, but feel justified in being assholes. And I see this a lot with, like, the Twitter outrages. I see this a lot with cringe subreddits, that kind of thing, where like, yeah, I can see the point. I can see why you would be upset at this public figure or creator or whatever for doing / saying something like this, but yikes, fam, it's pretty obvious you're not here for genuine reasons, like, Jesus Christ, fam. So I think that's a pretty decent comparison. At least, you know, that's just what I've observed. It's not like I've done like an investigation of it, but maybe that like relates in some way. So many want their voice heard. Yeah, and not everyone has something good to say. That's the downside, you know. Thank you, Klaus. What's your guesstimate of when you're gonna retire? I don't know. It can depend on a lot of things, honestly. I mean, I'm very honest with myself about the fact that YouTube is probably not the type of career that would last forever. Either for reasons outside of my control, or for, like, you know, personal health, or just feeling like the positives would no longer be worth it. Right now, I'm not there yet. I think I've been very lucky so far to be in my corner of the internet, where a lot of the weird pressure and nastiness that other people have experienced haven't been there. At least not to the same extent. In other ways, I've been really unlucky, like channel deletions and particular other things that have happened while I've been working with this. But I wouldn't know. You know, I don't think I'm gonna be doing YouTube for 40 years. Or maybe I would do it as a hobby at some point, I don't know. But as of now, I enjoy it, but it's definitely less pure than what it was in the beginning. And what I mean by that is that the overall vibe has more negativity in it than it used to. And I'm not sure if it's the internet that has changed. I'm not sure if that just comes with having a larger channel that you, like, you know, you touch in the mainstream from time to time. It's not just your little bubble and your little audience in the corner anymore. It's like sometimes your videos hit the algo, and the people that find your video through the algo, it's a bit of a hit or miss, isn't it? I think it's a combination of multiple things. So, yeah, I think when will I retire? I don't have a plan. Right now, I see myself sticking to YouTube for quite a while. But I'm also not sure if I see myself going for it as like a super long-term thing, like 40 years. You know, I don't see it on the same time scale as a traditional career. So, I don't know. Difficult question. But I suppose a lot of people are asking that after MatPat retired. And then I was watching Jacksepticeye's video, where he talked about not retiring now, but he probably will in the next year or two. And he went over some of the examples that he had experienced on YouTube. For example, the weird campaign in the comments where people were just saying like, "Oh, Jack's dad is burning in hell," which was kind of unreal. Like even for trolling standards, that's pretty low. I was actually surprised when I saw that trend, because I was like, "Damn, this is people genuinely spend time on this." Like, I understand some level of trolling, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, most kids have done some kind of stupid prank calling or whatever, but that's pretty far. That's pretty nasty. And that's just one of the examples. And I've seen other YouTubers express similar sentiment, I suppose. I think part of the problem is that if you are a bit more soft-hearted, stuff really gets to you on YouTube. I think there is a reason why some people you see succeed a lot and kind of play the game very well probably aren't that soft-hearted, if that makes sense, because it doesn't get to them. They don't care if, like, people dislike them or not. Maybe they even see it as a positive. I've seen a lot of creators use that to their advantage. You know, they will purposefully be a bit obtuse or purposefully engage in controversial topics, for example, because then even if they get outrage on Twitter, then they make the next video about the outrage about them on Twitter, and they get double the content because people are just mad and they just laugh at comments. So there is a difference between, I don't know, there is a difference at some point, I've noticed. I'm not particularly fueled by it. I don't like it. I'm the kind of person who wants everyone to get along, sort of, which on the internet is sort of impossible, and I think that's part of where the stress comes from. But yeah, I don't know. So retiring, no plans at the moment. But you know, we'll see what the future holds. But like I said, it can depend on a bunch of different things. Like maybe YouTube just decides to spit my channel out of the algo, and you know, it's no longer sustainable. Or maybe there's a bunch of laws changing about advertising rules, and all of a sudden you can't advertise on specific online videos. Or maybe there's like other concerns, or maybe it's health related, or maybe I just don't feel like it, or maybe there is something completely unrelated. I don't know. It could be anything. Thank you so much, John, for the 20 gifted members. You beautiful bean. This one is all for you. That's way too generous. If you got a gifted membership, make sure to link your account to the Discord and you get Rollster. Thank you so much, John. You're always a very welcome sight. I love hearing Click's profanities. Thank you so much, Ugly. I just want to say thank you for the content. I've had a mental health crisis the past few months and studying my master in science and chemistry, so the memes are nice. Uni can sometimes make you feel nuts. I do hope you get through it. I was procrastinating from doing PhD progress by making haptic gloves for absolutely no reasons. Also just turned 29, that's amazing. Happy late birthday, you beautiful bean. I do hope the gloves are coming along amazing. I love the content. I usually get some college work done while watching. Hopefully I finish the one I drew tonight. That is so good. Thank you so much, Squirrel, for the 5. What was the title of that book again? Oh, the fiction one. Childhood's End. That's the one. Okay, let's see. Have I caught up with stuff? I think maybe I've caught up with stuff. Hell yeah. I saw a clip from you in a German creator's video about main character syndrome, Jasmine Gnu. Yeah! Yeah, someone told me about that. That's really funny. For some reason, that's happened a lot recently. I've seen people telling me that I end up in German videos for some reason. That's really cool. I like that. Ezekiel, thank you so much for the lasso. You're a beautiful bean. This one is all for you. Mwah. Click, are you balding? Not as far as I know. As far as I know, it's hanging on quite nicely. So I think it depends on the day and if I bother fixing my hair or not. But I did get a haircut a couple of days ago, so there's probably less hair than now. But so far not, as far as I can tell. I don't have any like, I mean, apart from here, like, but that's kind of normal, like this stuff. The kind of V you get here, but that's something that most people get when they like hit their late 20s. But aside from that, I don't think so. At least it's not thinning out here yet, and I haven't noticed it receding here. So I don't think so. I hope not, but we'll see when that crisis hits. The daily balding. He's balding. Oh my god. Maybe that can be an Instagram account. The daily balding picture, and I can just cry. And then I'll raise like a fundraiser for a hair transplant. It's gonna be good. Hell yeah. No balding, oh my god. Oh shoot, are you German? You sound like it. No, I'm not. I'm Swedish, but I speak a bit of German. So it's very fun to see like when German creators like pick up a clip of mine. It's very cool. Click is nice company while revising an etymology exam. I nailed that one. That's amazing. Gorgeous hair. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. I'll just shave it here. There we go. You know. Oh my god, Click, it's receding so fast. Ah, it's gorgeous. Denarco, thank you so much for being a lasso. Mwah. The daily bulge. Budge? Why do I do this bulge? I'm so damaged from the intro, man. From Spider-Man, but instead it's a daily balding. The daily balding. Oh, yes, indeed. Speaking of that, I did discover a subreddit randomly because I was scrolling comments and someone linked it. I think it was an r/Tinder post. Someone being like, hey, are my pictures good? And someone said like, hey, you should probably shave your head. Here's a link to, yeah, r/bald. Here's a link to r/bald. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. So I clicked it. And I'm like, damn, this is actually a really wholesome subreddit. So it's like dudes that are balding and being like, okay, how do I style myself to like not have this hair, but for example shave it or grow something else, or you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's very wholesome vibes. I like it. I like it. It's like dudes being there for dudes. That's what we like to see. Hell yeah. Please let me out of your basement. It's dark. No, it's not. Don't be silly. Click is the best Satanist to watch daily, indeed. Welcome to your daily dose of Satan. Imagine Click reviewing r/balding. Honestly, wouldn't be a horrible idea. Maybe I should make a video that's just like general body positivity, and that could be a part of it. That wouldn't be too bad, honestly. Like, it's a pretty small subreddit, but I don't know. I kind of like that it's so supportive and people generally just giving each other tips and just being good about it. it's nice. I like that. That's like real body positivity. It's like, hey, I have my body is changing as I get older. How do I rock this? And get like genuine advice from other people in similar situations. That's really cool. I like that. Click is becoming a hairless cat. Oh no! Thank you for talking about invisible illnesses. I only use my handicap parking tag when I absolutely have to because I don't want to deal with Karens. Same with mobility aids. Yeah, no. The awareness about that kind of stuff is pretty bad, yo. And I mean, it's not super obvious either. I wish there was like a basic awareness class in school at some point. You know, so just sit you down for an hour and be like, hey there, not all disabilities are visible. Narcissistic abusers are incredibly common. Here are some traits you can look out for. Taxes are a scam. No. But you get my point. The kind of stuff that I've realized in the last 10 years of my life or so, that awareness is really low regarding, but it's really serious stuff that can like really alter or even ruin lives, you know? And someone clip that. Cedric, thank you so much for the 2 Swiss francs. Click equal boy crush. I'm crushing on Click too. Hell yeah, he's so dreamy. Even when he's balding. My god. Chad is never gonna let that down, fam. God damn it. Anyway, I'm just gonna wear a wig from now on. It's gonna be good. I'll get a hair transplant and put my hairline here. How about that? I just get a new hairline that goes here. Would you like that, chat? Would you like that? It's like, it like connects with my eyebrows. I'll do that. It's gonna be good. Bam. It's gonna be gorgeous. It's gonna be gorgeous. Not a big forehead anymore, huh? It just looks like a ball of glass. A ball of grass. Grass was the word I was looking for, but hair. Ah. No! Yeah, hairline here. Here. It's beautiful. Elf, thank you so much for being a lasso. You're beautiful being. This one is all for you. Mwah. I would be scared if you did that. It would look like when you pull a beanie down too far. You know, it's just... Why do you pronounce advantage like that? Like what? Advantage. Yes, advantageous. Click crushing on himself. Is he a narcissist too? No, it's called self-love. Distinct difference. Distinct difference. How can you love someone else if you don't love yourself first? Be a narcissist to everyone? Yes, indeed. Has Ott left YouTube or something? Not as far as I know. Last time I heard he went on a vacation, and then has been streaming more on Twitch. So I don't think he has left. I know he talked a bit on stream about just being on a small break, which makes sense, because the springtime on YouTube is the worst during the year. It's like the lowest paying ads, it's lower views, because people are working more and going outside more. So if you're gonna like take a break or focus more on streaming, it really makes sense to do it during springtime or January. So I don't think he's quit, but it makes sense to take a break sometimes. Isabella, thank you so much for being a lasso. You're beautiful being. This one is all for you. Mwah. But if you want to check into on OT, he's streaming regularly on Twitch, so check him out there. Hell yeah. What should I draw for fan art? I've sent this 50 times, you haven't noticed me? Oh my god, how could I not know? Oh my god. I try to notice people, but it's a lot of chat messages. I don't know, honestly. Demons are nice. Emotional, cute support demons, that is chunky. That is amazing. Hell yeah. Odie has been talking to new editors and has videos coming. That is really nice. See, I know he had problems with some editor stuff a while back. It's always tricky because everyone has their own lives and own priorities and that kind of stuff, and it's difficult to find people where it meshes always. It's tricky because the market we're in is pretty loose in that way. I'm really lucky to have Sam. Shout out to Sam. Good boy. Hell yeah. It's amazing. He's a good bean. He does amazing work, and I think we function on a very similar schedule attitude. Like, neither of us are super strict, you know? I'm like, yeah, sometimes I get the recording done in the morning if I have a flow with collecting material. Sometimes it's in the afternoon. And when he's working on the videos, like, sometimes, you know, the video's a bit lighter to edit and I get it back in 1.5 days. Sometimes it takes 2.5 days. It's like, it's fine. I just adapt the schedule to that. Like, we're both very consistent, but loose with the small things. And that works really well. Azure, thank you so much for being a member for 8 months. You beautiful being. This one is all for you. Mwah. Twisted Queen, thank you so much for being a lasso. And Manslaughter, or Man's Laughter, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Thank you so much for being a being a lasso. You beautiful being. Absolutely gorgeous. I think you would like the Dyson Sphere program. Been playing it roughly a year. Ooh, that's cool. Have you watched The Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., my favorite TV series ever? I haven't. I recently watched From, which is a really good, like, horror series. I'm trying desperately to find season 2, but it's that kind of, like, region limitation stuff. It's so annoying. And then I think Prime Video has put up some, like, VPN blocker stuff, because I use NordVPN usually for, like, jumping around with series and stuff. And I think their website is throttling traffic when they recognize a VPN. So... like, it's really buggy and weird. So I don't know, man. It's a bummer. Brenda, thank you so much for being a Noble Lasso for 16 months. That's absolutely amazing. Toasty, thank you so much for being a Lasso. And Twisted Queen, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. That's way too generous. Make sure to link your account to Discord, and you get awesome roles on Discord. Hell yeah. Yes, indeed. Peach Milk, thank you so much for being a Noble Lasso for 3 months. Happy to be here. You should be happy to be here. The party has joined. Peach Milk is here. Now the party can get going. Hell yeah. More lassos. Have the best day, Sir Click. Thank you so much, Twisted Queen. You're absolutely amazing. You too. VPN blockers are the worst. Yeah, and the worst part about it is that they're not making any more money because of it, as far as I know at least. It's such a pointless hassle, because I'm already paying for the streaming service, and then there's some quirk in it where it's like, oh, you can't watch in a specific region. Like, okay, I'm already paying for the subscription though. Me watching this or not watching this on your service isn't gonna make any difference. Like, what? Why is this? Why? It's so pointless. It's so pointless. Don't worry, Click, I'm bald too, but it's because I'm shaving my head. Well, then it's on purpose. That's fine. Look at that, Klaus. Hell yeah. You should play Dream Daddy? Oh, I know that game. I've tried some dating sims before. I just find them to be a bit slow pace, if I'm gonna be honest. I struggle getting into them. The licensing is the problem. If they don't have the license for your country, they could get fined lots of money if they show the stuff. Yeah, I know what, like, the licensing thing is. I know about that. I just think it's petty to do the VPN stuff, because you could claim that, you know, oh, like, technically it's not in our control, you know, we have region locked it, and then if people, like, hack sort their way around it, it's not really something we can do anything about, you know. You could, like, I don't know, be on a call with a friend in Discord that lives in a different country and they stream it to you, which I think might be against TOS, so don't do that, but, you know, hypothetically, there are many ways to get around that kind of stuff, you know, and, so it just seems very petty, if I'm gonna be honest. I understand, like, the practicalities about licensing, though, but that's not the point I was making, I don't believe. Are you planning to open a PO box again for fan art and such? Post fan art in the Discord. I usually don't have a PO box for fan art. I just print it and put it up here. Easier. And then I can also, like, Photoshop the borders and stuff to make it make sense in, like, the bigger collage. My god, look at that messy hair. Damn. Oh, beautiful. Hell yeah. Can't they artificially create scarcity? Can they even capitalism? Can they? Can they? I don't know at this point. Can they? Yes, indeed. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Telegram, Netflix, Prime, Amazon, etc. all banned in my country. Oh, that sucks. That is just silly. That is just silly, man. It's supposed to be 2024, goddamn. Click, notice me. I've sent this 50 times. You haven't noticed me. Why should I drop a fan art? I literally replied to your last one. You can... if you're gonna spam, at least pay attention when I reply to it. God. Blue Moon, thank you so much for being a lasso. You beautiful bean. This one is all for you. Mwah. Hey, Click, just wanted to drop in and say thank you, Rick, because content like yours, what's really helped me figure out that being ace is an actual thing and I'm not just weird. That is amazing. That is amazing. Thank you for dropping by. Have you ever thought of making 23andMe video to see your ancestry? And to be extra accurate compared to other ancestry site? I'm not really too interested, to be honest. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna be honest. I don't care enough. Like, my ancestry is my family. In that case, I have never cared much about it anyway. I think I think especially in the last 10 years of my life or so, I felt a bit more loose when I became an adult. I had a lot of international family, international partners, friends, working in different places. I never felt particularly, how should I put this, tied to a specific country or heritage or anything like that. So I think maybe it's quite personal, but I never cared much, if I'm gonna be honest. Family's the family you make yourself. Yeah, exactly, that too. So I don't know. I never cared much about it. I really didn't. I think it'd be interesting to do like the research with family trees, for example. Like, you know, oh, you have this super oldie, super grandma, grandpa that lived back in 1550. You know, that could be kind of cool. But just like having ancestry and be like, you're 10% Italian. It's like, really? I think heritage tests are probably more popular in the US. I think there it's probably, I mean, I've never lived in the US, but based on what I hear from my friends and online and stuff, I think it's a bigger thing to, like, you know, ancestry and belonging and that kind of stuff because of how the country works and has worked historically, I think. But I think it's pretty cool, amazing being American. Yeah, I think it's different perspectives. Like, me as a Swede, it's like I never cared much, if I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm also very international in my attitude to a lot of things. So I just never cared, honestly. You're a world citizen. Weltbürger. We say in German, yeah. Weltbürger. It sounds like world burger in Swedish. That's amazing. Breaking news, Click doesn't care about his family or Sweden. Honestly, yeah, that's basically how Twitter interprets anything you say. It's absolutely amazing. Love it. It's because there's no distinct American cultures. Everyone likes to see what else they are. Yeah, and America is a very young country compared to a lot of other places. Like, you know, if I joke about ancestry, it's like, oh, I come from the Vikings. You know, it's a heritage that go back 1,000 years. In the US, it's like, you know, people came there as settlers and stuff. And you had the native populations, for example, but most of the modern stuff is connected to things that are very new. So I suppose that's why it's different. I never thought that heritage stuff is bad or anything like that. I just don't personally care about it. My aunt does that for a living, and 90% of my family are born in the same state since we came to America. Very boring. Do we have Cerberus duck progress? I don't think I have anything new to show, sadly. The team is working on the sample right now, is the last update I had. Is our second largest audience still Germans? It varies a bit throughout the year, I've noticed. Let me check, actually. Let me check. Hold on. If I go to YouTube and Analytics and go to like Analytics and then like check out a little bit of viewers. Let's see now. So we have, yeah, it is. It actually is. Yeah, now it passed. For a while there it was Storbritannien, which is GB. That was bigger, but now it's passed. So now it's 41% Americans, 7.3% Germans, 7.2% English or British, 5% Canadian, 3.1% Australian. So Germany is actually fascinatingly big considering it's not like a native English-speaking country, which is pretty cool. Hell yeah. What up, Germans? How are you doing? No wonder I keep ending up on German YouTube. It's amazing. Hell yeah. Hallo alle deutsche Leute, wie geht es dieses wunderschönes Abend? Heute haben wir ein Stream in Deutsch. Das ist ein ziemlich gutes Ding, ja? Nicht Deutsch, but Deutsch. Okay, that's a word, probably not. When you have a bunch of special characters in there, it's difficult. I am the 3.1% Australian. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Gay penguin plush when it's on the way. I mean, if you mean the Cerberus duck, maybe it was going to be gay next year. Probably. Lol, great accent. You know, last time I tried to, like, be smooth and speak German in Switzerland, I believe. I got the comment like, "Oh, that's so cute." Is that a compliment or is it patronizing? I don't know. I just want to hear Click saying "mwah" all night. Ooh, I should make like a compilation. Thank you for the 10. Mwah. Wir brauchen einen ganzen deutschen Stream von Click. Oh, that's amazing. Hell yeah. Click, I'm trying to stop watching corn. Do you have any tips? Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, corn, I think if you just don't watch the farming channel... I know what you're talking about. I think with a lot of things, when it comes to habits, the easiest way to break it is to not make it too easily accessible. So for example, I had a habit that I started picking up of drinking too much soda. It's not like a super excessive habit or anything, but it's something I wanted to do when I started working out more because it's unnecessary calories that don't really add anything, and it just makes me have more flab, basically. It's kind of like, you know, a minor thing. So what I did isn't like, you know, trying to like not make myself buy soda all the time. Sometimes I cheat and I have a soda because it's nice. But what I did, the biggest change is that I never buy soda in the store. I never bring it home. Unless it's for like something special, like an event or, you know, mixing drinks or something. So that was the biggest change I did, because it means that when I'm sitting at home and being like, oh my god, I have that little tickling, that little soda urge. There is no soda at home, and I'm not gonna just go down to the store just because I have a little urge for a soda right now. So then I do something else. I eat a fruit or something, which roughly sedates the same kind of craving because it's sweet. So that's something I did. Why so many streams? What do you mean? It's fun. Oh my god. So that's something I did to reduce a habit. So I suppose for corn, one simple thing would be to maybe, I don't know, put some sort of lock on your browser, maybe, could work, because then it becomes a hassle to like undo it if you're gonna do it, and maybe that's like enough of a hassle step to not like get into it easy. Because I think with those kind of habits, it's easy because you're bored, and you slip into it, and you just kind of open it on reflex and be like, oh, no, I'm here again, you know. It's a very easy thing to slip into. If you make it slightly more difficult for yourself, you're likely to fall out of the habit. And that's what I did with soda, for example. I wouldn't say that was a full-blown addiction or anything like that, but just not having it as accessible just made you kind of forgot about it, and the habit just sort of disappeared by itself. And I think that's a very good idea when it comes to light bad habits or light addictions or whatever you want to call it. I don't think it's enough to like cure really serious stuff, honestly, but it's a good first step. What is corn? You replace the first letter with a P. As I used to live in Switzerland, I can tell you, French, German, and Italian are broken. The problem is the country. Spent so many years there now that when I speak my native language, I have an accent. Oh my god. Can you speak on your natural voice? Click. This is pretty much my natural voice. This is relaxed. But it's a bit more, because the mic is sensitive, it's a bit like lower. It's not like I'm shouting in a room, so I can speak very relaxed, and yeah. So I don't put on a voice for videos particularly well. Sometimes I do, when I'm like, hello there, welcome to today's video, you wonderful, beautiful, you put in a bit of like extra pizzazz. But I typically don't fake a voice. Corpse voice. I had such a fucking corpse voice when I had COVID. Oh my god, it legit was like, hey guys, welcome to this video. It was insane. It was too sore to record a video, but otherwise I would have totally recorded the video. I have some voice clip I posted to Twitter, I think, about it. Absolutely insane. Let me see if I can actually find it. Hold on. It's a while ago. Can I search for it? Okay. Not sure if it's actually showing up. I would have to scroll far, man. Oh well, I'll just put it on auto scrolling and see if it comes up. But yeah, that was pretty funny. That was like COVID giving me the deepest voice I've ever had for like a solid day. It was wild. I love all the different voices that you can do. Oh, thank you. I feel like I'm pretty mediocre when it comes to voice acting stuff, but it's like good enough for it to be funny with memes. I'm not sure if it would work with like a full-blown character. I need motivation to work on my final coding project that's due tonight. Oh, that's tricky. What I did sometimes with coding is I had a beer. They usually, they used to tell us, you know, code when you're tipsy, edit it and fix it when you're sober. Oh my god. Do you like Corpse's music? I listened to a couple of them when they came out, yeah. It's pretty cool. It's a cool sound. I can't say I listen to it on the regular, but I have listened to it, yeah. Have you heard a new Minecraft song for next update? They really slap. Oh, yeah. I heard one of them. It came up in my feed for some recommended thing. I can't remember what it was called, but it sounded really nice. Wait, did it just stop loading? I'm very sure... Okay, wait. Come on. I'm pretty sure I tweeted before 2022. Very silly Twitter. Oh, it doesn't load more to the timeline? Really? Retry? Oh, wow. That sucks ass. Wow. Well, that's a shame. Oh, well. As a developer can confirm, it's odd to me because I don't drink, but coworkers, especially those that work at home, swear by coding just a little buzzed. Sometimes it's similar when you're creative, I'm gonna be honest. Speaking languages too. Speaking German for me is way easier when I'm tipsy, I'm gonna be honest. And then you get over a point where like you start getting worse again, but if you're just like 1 or 2 beers deep, it's easier to speak a third language, for example, because I think you stop caring about the small petty things and that sort of unlocks you. Oh, nice. Thank you, Kim. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can play this on my second monitor here. Did not mess anything up. Let's see. I'm gonna pull this up. Gonna pause music for now. And okay, let's see if this is loud enough. Hey, what up there, little thing?
That's very good for you. Yeah,
COVID gave me a super deep voice. Oh my god. That was amazing. That was amazing. I remember that so well. This is beautiful. Good times, man. Or bad times. I was sick, but, you know, good memories or something. I don't know. Ah, gorgeous. Considering how much Germans love beer, that's not surprising. Yeah. I think it's easier to speak a new language because you stop caring about the small things. Like, you're not sitting there like overthinking small grammar, which means you probably speak less correct, if that makes sense, but it just flows instead. So it makes it easier.
Click is actually corpse confirmed. Have you ever seen Click and corpse in the same room?
You really do sound like corpse. I just have to get sick again. The always get back into the saddle metaphor you talk about when not giving up is my life motto. I do horse riding too, but it works in every facet of life. I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. I had one of those experiences. One thing, for example, I had happen in life a few times is that I have a phobia for needles and blood and that kind of shit. A bit of a hassle when you get a vaccine, but you know, it's not the kind of phobia that massively impacts your life, usually. But I have had a couple of times where it happens that the phobia triggers in a shitty context, and then the phobia gets linked to that context, you know? And one time that happened was during a stream. I was streaming the Mortuary Assistant, and that, oh my god, it fucked up my phobia so bad, man, so bad. And I remember I was really anxious for the next stream, because I was like, fuck, what if this happens again? And you start overthinking, and it becomes an anxiety thing, like, because now your stupid brain has linked your phobia to this activity that in reality is completely unrelated. It's not like I'm gonna play this game again. But then I got through it in 20 minutes because I just got back up on the horse. So after that one stream, then all of a sudden it was easy again. So that's a valuable life lesson sometimes. Sometimes when something happens, especially those things, it's sometimes very good to just very quickly like, no brain, bad brain, we're gonna push through this. It's not what you think it is, stupid brain. And then usually it works. You ever get flashbacks from one of your fears? I mean, a little bit, with like phobia and stuff, yeah. If you're having like a very bad day, or like the anxiety is getting the better of you, then sometimes your phobia can give like sort of flashbacks, I guess. I wouldn't say it's quite that intense, perhaps, but yeah, something along those lines. But meh, it's not that. It's not the worst thing ever. How well can you do a Scottish accent? I managed to imitate a pretty good Scottish accent when I was collabing with Jamie, because Jamie did a really good one. Mine just sounds like a Lord of the Rings dwarf. It's very cartoonish. It's like I don't know. Can I try to read something in the Scottish? Oh my god. Mortar, your sister, is so good. Do you like horror movies? Autopsy of Hannah Grace was so good. I was incredibly impressed when I learned that the actress did all the coordination, etc. herself. I don't know, man. I can do it when someone does it right before me, then it's easy to imitate. But doing it from the top of my head is like... Or I do it like the really like over thing. That's awful. God damn it. Or I do the Lord of the Rings dwarf. You're afraid of needles and sharp things, but demon friend has the sharp teeth. Yeah. You see? Nailed it. Nailed it. Top tier Scottish accent, 10 out of 10. Thank you, Kate. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, indeed. Same with me in American. Yeah, I noticed that sometimes I copy accents of whoever I'm around. So I remember I went pubbing with some British people at one point, and I just started like... my accent just drifted into British very rapidly. It was concerning. As an American, I'm pretty impressed by your Scottish accent. Hell yeah, you see? At least I can convince the majority of my audience. Hell yeah. If you need to do something, but you're afraid, honestly I find distracting your brain with another thing as you inch yourself to the other thing that makes sense, basically steering your thought. Yeah, that's a very good thing. Like you don't over-focus on it. Sometimes, one tip I've actually gotten with dealing with phobias and stuff, if you work with, for example, exposure therapy, is that you're supposed to like really focus on the things that get you anxious or the phobia you have, because that is supposed to like convince your brain that whatever worst case scenario you're thinking of in regards to it never happens, you know? It's like an exposure therapy thing when it comes to anxiety or phobias, for example. It might not like get rid of your phobia completely, but it does create that subconscious thing that, oh yeah, it's not as dangerous as my subconscious is telling me, and that makes it much more manageable. I live in the Midwest USA and was born in Riga, Latvia. Sometimes I speak with either Texan or British accent. Yeah, or both at the same time. It's like, woo, hell yeah. Petition for Click to voice some characters in a silly series. Oh, hell yeah. Do you live in America or in Sweden? Hope this isn't too personal. Maybe I live in both. My god, what a twist. I mean, living somewhere warmer would be nice, though. Not gonna lie. Where it's not... I mean, I like having seasons, but... don't have to be quite so extreme, right? Your Scottish dwarf is actually really good. I say this as a Brit. Your Scottish dwarf is actually really good. I say this as a Brit. Lol. I think there's a bit of Swedish in there. Hell yeah. I have a bad fear of insects, but my mom keeps saying that the bug's more scared of me. How do you know the bug is having a panic attack? I'm not sure if the bug is cognitively evolved enough to have a legit panic attack. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a master of bug psychology, but you know, sort of the bliss of existing as a simple creature, I suppose. I have that accent thing all the time. It's super embarrassing when I'm around people from different regions of Germany because they think I'm making fun of their accent. No, Alice! Oh my god, no! Thank you so much for the 10, you beautiful bean. Oh no. Yeah, I'm not even sure what my German accent sounds like, to be honest. The most feedback I've gotten on it is that, oh my god, that's so cute. Which, is that a good thing? I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you like musicals? Musicals are nice. I like them. Sometimes. My English accent shifts depending on which accent I've heard recently. My favorite one to do is the Flemish, because just like Swedish, it sounds funny. Oh my god. Yeah, some people legit speak like that. It's very funny. I mean, it's very overdone, of course, like, oh my god. But if you talk with a more neutral Swedish accent, it sounds kind of like this. It's just a different melody and different intonations. So, it's not as overdone as the comedic one, but it has a different softness to it. And if you talk with the more American one, it has different intonations and stuff. It's like different languages have different melodies. And the accent comes from like having that melody in another language, which is kind of fascinating. I have a generic British accent, I guess. One of my friends talks super poshly, and we sometimes make fun of it in a harmless, friendly way. Oh my god. I caught a stream, baby. Oh yes, indeed, Tao, you beautiful bean. I have a problem with speaking German, because sometimes it will shift into normal Hochdeutsch, and then I will throw in a bit of a Bavarian into it. I have that problem with Swiss German. It's really funny. So sometimes I will say stuff in Swiss German, and they just look at me like, what are you talking about? Deutsche Leute, wie geht es? Oh, that's beautiful. I think my accent is all messed up. Maybe that's why they say it sounds cute, because it's some weird unholy mix. Clicky, what are your thoughts on Marvel comic movie shows? All of it. Also, have you watched Hamilton? Marvel comic shows all of it? Is that a title of it? I'm not quite sure I understand the question. I have a phobia of wasps, because if I were a wasp, I would sting out of spite. So I get it! Angelica, that makes perfect sense. Thank you for the 10, you beautiful bean. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I was stung by a wasp when I was a kid. That sucked. I haven't been stung by a wasp in a long time, though. I was burned by a bumblebee, though. It flew into my bed when I was sleeping, and then I rolled over, and my foot was on top of it, and it stung me. Silly. It didn't ask for consent or anything. The bumblebee was unharmed, and just flew out again. But my foot hurt for like a day. Seth, thank you for the 20. Advice on finding a career. I've taken all the quizzes and it's always engineering, but I need to finish school first. I had to put it on hold for mental health, but I think I'm ready again. I'm worried I don't have marketable skills. Engineering is a pretty good choice. That's what I did. I mean, I never knew what I wanted to do, to be honest. So I picked a field of engineering because I knew it was incredibly wide. And you also have plenty of master options. So I remember when I was picking my program, I picked between the programs that had the most options for masters. Right? So it's like, oh, general engineering, and then I can choose, industrial management or mechanical engineering or product development or whatever it might be, depending on where I feel I am at after, a couple of years. So, and that was a pretty good choice. And now I read memes for a living. So life does throw you some balls sometimes, doesn't it? But I think it's very good because, and I mean, as an engineer, I did get a job as a project manager, which wasn't really exactly what I studied either. It wasn't in my main field either, but because I had engineering, it was really easy to get into the technical aspects of it because I understood everything. So I think engineering is a good choice. It's something I've recommended to a decent chunk of people. I used to recommend it to people I used to tutor. Not sure if anyone actually picked it though. Taki, thank you for the 50, beautiful bean. I have the accent thing too. It can be because of a bunch of things if you are a musician or maybe on the autism spectrum or ADHD. I am all of that. I think it can vary a lot between people, like how much you replicate things you see or hear, or how much you replicate people around you, even subconsciously. When I was a child, me and my mother, and I saw a chipmunk. We walked up to it and it attacked my mother. She now has a phobia. Oh my god. Any thoughts? Oh, that is so sad. I mean, that's a very common way to develop a phobia. But I think a lot of people that have animal phobias are attacked when they're young, if I'm not mistaken. But I suppose it can develop at any point, I suppose. So, yeah, that sounds bad though. Chipmunk, oh no. I found you through my partner who is currently watching the stream and started learning Swedish for fun. That's amazing. Hell yeah. Don't study law. The thing with law also to keep in mind is that you're going to be less flexible if you want to move around in the future, I suppose. Because laws are slightly different everywhere. Which makes it a bit tricky, I suppose. I remember that was something I considered back when I picked educations. I wanted something that I could potentially do in a lot of places. I used to be scared of dogs because I was bit when I was 4 by a dog I didn't even touch. Took me 10 years about to get over the phobia. Yeah, I've had a few friends like that too, where they get bit or attacked violently when they're very small, and then it becomes an overwhelming phobia. Klickenjättar. Last week, for the first time since over 12 years, I had a girlfriend, and we cooked and ate and watched movies and cuddled. It was really nice. That is amazing. Hell yeah, that's so cool. That is so cool. Oh my god. My poems got accepted in the big magazine. Bless, that is amazing. That is so cool. I got brutally scratched by a cat when I was like 5, and they're still my favorite animal to this day. Apparently haven't learned my lesson. Maybe it's just a poopy kitty. I mean, all kitties are pretty poopy, but there's a difference between poopy and poopy. Oros, thank you so much for the 20. That's way too generous. I used to work in a call center, and people would call in with a heavy accent. I would semi-consciously start mimicking them because I could hear how I sounded with that accent. It actually helped me understand them better. That is really cool. That is really cool. Unless you have like a Karen that thinks you're mocking them or something. But that's really cool. Hell yeah. I was just thinking about watching a video from theclick when I said this is welcome in. Oh my god. How do I choose? Video or stream? Oh my god, it's all amazing content. I have such a problem with lack of motivation in uni, but also really bad at math. So very open field isn't possible. I mean, I was never an ace at math either, to be honest, but yeah, I don't know. If the math is too heavy, then picking something else that is wide might also help. I have a couple of friends that, for example, picked an economics-related education because the math is a bit less heavy. But there are many ways to go about it. I developed phobias from being misdiagnosed with ADHD. School wanted to shift the blame. And that Ritalin amped up my anxiety. Doing better now, though. Oh, that sounds awful. Oh, because that will have the exact reverse effect. That is so bad. Oh my god. I'm really glad you're doing better, though. That sounds absolutely awful. Please apologize to all the cats you insulted. Do you think they care about my apology? Have you interacted with cats? They don't give a shit about what I think. They don't care if I apologize. They don't care if I insult them. They don't care if I praise them. They're just there. I'm beneath them. God. You guys understand people? I can't even understand my own family when they speak sometimes. This morning I thought they were talking about a movie, and turns out they were talking about my meds. Click University in session. Oh, hell yeah. What's your thoughts on Sharknado? Oh, I've watched the first 5 minutes of it, and then I don't remember what I did. Could you review music? Oh, Jack Stauber, I recognize that name, that's really cool. Copyright would probably murder me, if I'm gonna be honest. I was attacked by a dog who left me with a scar on my arm for 20 years. But I don't blame the dog, as it was just in pain at the time. Animals just defend themselves if they're scared. Yeah, animals defend themselves, or sometimes they can get aggressive if they have, for example, a brain tumor. Or they're just maladapted, for example. Animals are not really evil or cruel in that way, usually. I mean, cats can play with their prey and stuff. Cats can be really little sadists, but, you know, in general, animals don't just attack for no reason, just like, it's a small child, it's PTSD of the day. There's usually an underlying issue. You blocked it out? What? Speaking about music and copyright, what's the background music you're using? It depends on which one you mean. The main background track I always link in the description. It's called, like, Tea Time, I think? It's something like that. It's one of those, like, royalty-free YouTube tracks that is very popular. The one I use right now is just Stream Beats. Harris Heller Stream Beats. It's a royalty-free one that is on Spotify that Harris Heller developed specifically for streamers to use, which was a really good business deal because he's like the leading person on Spotify, I think, with like royalty-free music that everyone on Twitch and YouTube uses. So yeah, making some bank off of that. Hell yeah. I was walking past this house with the gate open. I ran past because I sensed something was off. A dog ran out and attacked my brother, who was oblivious. It dragged him around the bin. That is awful. That is so awful. God damn. Thank you so much for the 10. What a horrible story. I hope he was fine. I was in elementary school in swimming class. Instructor kept pushing my face into the water. Now I have fear of water. Thanks, Instructor Yabesh. Yeah, like really bad instructors or teachers can really mess you up. My best friend came out as trans. They're in the US and use they, them. The thing is, I used to have a little French nickname for them, because French is a gendered language. I don't know new nicknames. I would see if there's like a gendered translation of the nickname. Sometimes you can make that work between languages, but it is way too vague for me to give any actual ideas. Tao, thank you so much for the 11. Accents are often perceived as endearing when white/Western Europeans have one. With lesser folks, accents, Asian, Arab, African, Indian, they usually get told to learn to speak properly. Yeah, there is definitely a bias. I've noticed that too. One thing I have noticed though, but that's a bit of a separate topic, I suppose. I have a lot of people think I'm American, because I have friends and partner included that I speak a lot of English to. So sometimes people will just think I'm American because I have a very neutral accent nowadays. And it's happened a few times that someone is like, wait, just speak Swedish? I'm like, yeah. I had a little party a while ago. It was like a kids party that some friends had. And one of the grandmas, she was really cool. She had been working in like translation, the translation business in movies, like subtitles and stuff when she was younger. So she came up to me because she thought I was an American and be like, hey, I used to translate American movies. And I'm like, that's really cool. And then someone else came up and said hi. And I was like, Shiana. And she was like, wait, you're not American? I'm like, no. She's like, oh. That was kind of funny. But yeah, no, back to the comment. Yeah, definitely. No, there's definitely a bias, depending on who has an accent and which accent it is. There is certainly a bias there. How often in your day-to-day life do you speak Swedish versus English? Nowadays it's probably a bit 50-50, I'm gonna be honest. Something like that. As a non-binary person, language is whack. In German is like the worst when it comes to gender stuff. The grammar stuff in German is like Excel sheets. It's awful. I usually just alternate between masculine and feminine / use mirror pronouns. People use their own pronouns on me. Ah, I see. Okay, yeah, that's the way of getting around it. Like with different languages, it can really be challenging. God damn. When I was 5 years old, I was bitten by a dog so bad. I feared dogs until we got a puppy and wanted to be better, and I don't fear dogs anymore. Oh, that is so sweet, though. You and your puppy overcame it together. That's so cute. I steal their pronouns. Are you real? Nah. It's all AI generated. Don't worry about it. Have you played Stardew Valley? A little bit, but not that much. Pretty sure he's real. My cousins thought that a classmate had a cute accent. Turns out he had a speech impediment? No. Oh. I mean, maybe I can try to make that excuse with my dyslexia when I mispronounce words or misread things and people are like, oh my god, and I'm like, it's an accent. Dear God. Oh. Wait, is clicker real? No. It's all make-believe. Don't worry about it. Grammatical gender as a system, I think, is really interesting. The only problem is the fact that it also overlaps with actual gender. Noun categorization itself is a neat and useful idea. Yeah, except when you're trying to learn the language. God, the pain. Let's see, is a car masculine, feminine, or neutral? I learned it because of an ad. Das Auto. There you go. It's neutral. Got my glow-in-the-dark emotional support team a couple weeks ago, and I love it. His name is Alfredo. That is amazing. That is so cool. Hell yeah, I can't wait for mine to arrive. It's on the way. It's gonna get here at some point, hopefully. Learning Swedish is hard. I just started, but holy Jesus, it's hard. I think Swedish is easy in the way that it doesn't have as many words as some other languages, but some parts is tricky because you can use the same words to mean different things depending on the context. And I think it also depends on what your native tongue is. Like if you're, for example, German, I think it's going to be easier because it's a Germanic heritage language. But if you only speak English, for example, it might feel far away. So I think it depends on a lot of factors. You're my favorite gay propaganda spreader, hell yes. Der Wagen. Yeah, I think it's Der Wagen. I don't remember, man. God. I just imitate what I hear. Feminine is masculine in Spanish. Oh my god. Oh no. Best Swedish word. Oj. It's actually spelled with a J, though. It's oj. It means oops. I once had a chance to dive as a kid, oxygen flask and all, and for some reason they changed the instructor underwater. When I was confused and wanted to go up, they freaking pulled me back under. That is so bad. That is so bad. Der Wagen is correct. Hell yeah. thing is feminine in Hindi. Seriously, why? There is a German saying that goes, German language, hard language, because even us Germans know how much it sucks.
Tax evasion, sparkles.
I just want to see the emotional support human face on my birthday. Yeah, that sounds like a goal, though. That sounds like a legit goal. Hell yeah. And Nolia, thank you so much for the 5 months. Nobalazo, hell yeah. Glow in the Dark Commercial Support Team arrived here too this week. Hey, that's amazing. I'm so glad to hear that it's arriving now. It's so cool. It's so cool to see all the pictures. Ari, thank you so much for the 5. Hello, Clicky. You bring me so much comfort. Thanks for being who you are. By the way, thoughts on classic music? Violet here, so I am curious. Ooh, I like classic music. It's nice. It's nice. I have a few vinyls of like classic operas and stuff. It's really cool. So yeah, I would say go nuts. It's really nice. C'est les bonnes Plushies. Oh my god. Have you heard of the guy who didn't like musicals? Warning the musical itself is very inappropriate, but hella funny. Oh, that's funny. That's ironic. I like that. Things I fiddle with. Oh my god. Give back my fiddle thing, otherwise I can't speak. Oh well, maybe I'll have a snack instead. This will keep my little finger creatures busy. Oh, yes indeed. In before a free ASMR experience. Oh yes indeed. Oh, little snackies. Just joined, what is happening? Well, now the party is starting. Nope, now that you have joined. Yes, indeed. I'm actually writing my thesis on the difference in syntactic movements between Spanish and English. It's very interesting. Should be working on it right now. Oops. Well, procrastination is a vibe, isn't it? Any advice on dealing with non-existent parent-child relationships? Like they're both still here, same house, I'm 16, I just don't feel like we were ever that close. It's been on my mind a lot right now. I would say talk to them about it, but I think it's also, you know, also don't share your age in chat, I suppose, is a good idea, because people online be weird, yo. But when it comes to parent-child relationships, they change as you grow. You go from being parent-child to being parent-teenager to being two adults that happens to be related. You know, it's the relationship changes, and you're in the phase right now where you're also changing a lot in life, so that might make sense. But I would say talking to them is definitely the best thing. Sometimes you're not that close to family members by default because you just don't have that much in common, and that's okay. But you can still be close with them in other aspects. So communication and common activities is usually the way to go. My wife, 33, always thought she was dyslexic. She was recently diagnosed with ADHD, and turns out with the right meds, she can actually read without the letters dancing everywhere. She cried of joy. Oh my god. That is so nice to hear that she's getting help for it. But 33, god damn. Yeah, it really needs to be better, doesn't it? Watching you while I edit my first YouTube video ever? Hell yeah, that is cool. Especially in the advice. Thank you very much for making content. Also, sorry for the spam. Just finished my first year of uni. Ended up having a quarrel with both of my roommates at the starting of the sem. I tried to clear it out, but they just isolated me. Your videos help so much. That is so tragic. When it doesn't work with people you have to stay with or be close with, is always a pain. My friends were frustrated. They didn't speak with their teenage son anymore. They had forgotten he was not a child anymore. Yeah, it's like it's a process of change for everyone, because usually parents are not super experienced with having teenagers either. Like maybe you do it once, maybe twice, you know, depending on the amounts of kids you have. And the teenager certainly does it for the first time. And it's that kind of period of life where you're transitioning from being a child to being some sort of an adult. And it means the relationship changes as well. A lot of ADHD women go all their life struggling without ever being diagnosed. She had an abysmal academic life, but now things finally get better. Yeah, no, those sort of diagnoses can be really tricky and really expensive. Like, ridiculously expensive. You seen the Fallout TV show yet? Yeah. Except for how the Brotherhood of Steel was depicted, I found it pretty good. I mean, Brotherhood of Steel is like... I think they depicted it differently than I expected. But I think it also depends on which chapter it is. But they were more like, I don't know, frat boy-y in a way than I expected. Like, when I played the games, at least, the Brotherhood had their quirks, but it's more like honorable military who's also kind of racist, you know? It felt like this Brotherhood was very fake, in a way. Everything was like hyper egocentric between most of the people, and I'm not sure if I recognized like that really from the games, but it can also depend on like the particular people we were following in the series, I suppose. What you're eating? This is sesam kakor, so it's like sesame cookies with honey on them. It's pretty nice. It's good little snackies. Have you heard of Tourette's syndrome? Of course I have. So Paladins in older D&D versus Paladins in newer D&D. Yes? Question mark? Once I was on YouTube, watched one of your videos. At the point you greet a specific name, you said my name, and also said to do your homework, which reminded me that I had forgot I had. Ali, thank you so much for the 5. I'm a Minecraft builder who specializes in TARDISes. Would you like one? That sounds really cool. That sounds really cool. If you're building them, I would like to see a screenshot somewhere, like maybe on Reddit or something like that. That sounds really nice. Thank you so much for the 5. Is that the Lucifer from The Game Obey Me? It's a piece of fan art that looks like the thing. But as time goes on, I'm wondering if they just added a mustache to it and said it was me. So, yes, I suppose. How many languages do you know? 3. You should listen to the Magnus Archives. I'm 99% sure of ADHD. I relate to almost all the symptoms, but when I visit a psychiatrist, they said I do not have it because I get good grades and I can watch long videos on YouTube. Yeah, that's not great, I suppose. Nah. That kind of stuff is really difficult. Those processes are not the best. Anything with a mustache equals the click? Yes, that is correct. That is correct. What's your favorite chess piece? Interesting. I think when I was a kid, it used to be the rook. I liked it. It felt like a very solid piece because it just moved very straight, predictable. It was powerful. Nowadays, I would say it's probably like the bishop or the knight, because they make the most unexpected moves, which is kind of cool. The knook, yeah. The knook! Knook is the best. I like the knook. The knook is very good. You should try 5-dimensional chess with time travel. It's awful. I watched a dating show recently on YouTube, and one of the people in it was like a chess player, so they made the people on the other side of the whole dating game try to give them pickup lines or understand things about chess, and it was so painfully obvious no one had ever played chess before. Oh my god. That was kind of funny. That was kind of funny. Like, I'm not a superly particular invested player nowadays. I used to play more when I was like a kid or a teenager, but yeah, that was pretty funny. That was pretty funny. John, thank you so much for the 5. Our diabetic kitty's back legs are slipping around a lot when he walks. He has neuropathy and arthritis, poor thing. Aw, I hope he's not in pain at least. I hope he gets to vibe. And thank you so much for the 10 memberships. That is way too generous. Thank you so very much. And by the way, if you got a gift of membership, you can actually get roles on the Discord. Hell yes, you should definitely join the Discord to get your fancy roles. Click, have you played the game Sam and Max Save the World? You sound like the villain with your sparkle voice. No, I have not, but that sounds interesting. Maybe they were inspired by my beautiful videos. What's your favorite character trope? Do you like deep characters with a lot of trauma and complicated backstories, or the ones where the emotions are out in the open and have to get traumatized to develop, maybe? Ooh, good question. I think the characters I like most, and this is way more general, it's sort of like reverse of the question, but I like characters that don't push the story forward simply because they're dumb. I watched a series recently, it's called The Mist. I think it's a remake of the old movie but turned into a series. And the series is good, I like it, it's based on an old Stephen King story. But what bothered me so much is that too many of the characters push the story and what happens just because they're kind of morons and they don't communicate. You know, there's like a scene, for example, like, oh my god, I have just found out Steve is the murderer. Huh. And I'm so distraught about it. And then Hank comes up to me and be like, oh my god, why are you so distraught? And you're like, oh, it's nothing, or we need to go do this. Oh, I'm just stressing right now. And then you die, and then all of a sudden no one knows that this guy is the murderer anymore. Like, why don't you just... It takes one sentence. Oh my fucking god. That pisses me off with characters to like an unbelievable extent. It's not even the character just being stupid. It's just that no one acts like that in reality. Or whenever they reply with like, this was something that pissed me off so much in The Rings of Power, when everything tries to be some kind of deep reference that doesn't exist. When someone is like, hey, why did you stop the car? And the character replies, when I was a child, my dad used to put an onion on his belt, and then he would go over to the neighbor and steal their goats, and that's why I learned in my many... How the fuck is that an answer? So anyway, yeah, those, that's the characters I don't like, I suppose. Not because, like, stupid characters are fine, but not when everyone is stupid just to bring the story forward, you know? The story should be smarter, that it doesn't have to be fueled necessarily by only stupid characters. Does that make sense? What's the deal with onion on my belt? It's a Simpson reference. It's a Simpson reference. It's the episode where they're saying that, you know, oh, when old people tell a story that doesn't go anywhere, and it's Grandpa Simpson be like, yeah, so anyway, back in my day, we always used to tie an onion in my belt because that was the fashion at the time. So anyway, I would go to the store with an onion in my belt and I was looking for the milk. So the milk was in the other aisle, but what I realized is that the milk factory actually shut down the day prior. The milk factory was in a separate part of town. It did part of town that was kind of weird. But I remember in that part of town, I used to have a pub I used to go to and the beer was really good there. So anyway, the beer back then was produced in a different fashion. You know, it's just like, it keeps going. There's no fucking point. It just like vaguely links to stuff and just... Yeah, so that's the reference. Hi, Click. Question. I'm 26. I'm having issues with dealing with my parents. I suffer from some mental disorders where I have a caretaker, but even then they still treat me like a young child. That's tricky. I've had some people, I've heard stories where that's a difficult transition. I think talking to them is a good first step. Be honest with it and be like, hey, I know I can't, you know, do this and this by myself, but that doesn't mean I'm a child, you know? It's practical assistant. It doesn't mean that you should treat me like I'm 12. And like be honest with it, but be like a bit stern about it, because I think part of becoming an adult is also breaking free from being a child in a way, if that makes sense. And it can work differently depending on the people in the family and stuff, but yeah. I just realized my father is now doing this. Oh, heck yeah. There was once a cat that lived in Click's flat. Diabetes. Indeed, it did do diabetes. Do you like Swedish meatballs? Indeed I do. I ate some just a couple of days ago. It was good, fam. It was really nice. Hell yeah. Do you like the Marvel universe? I do generally. Some of the later movies felt a bit squeezed out, but in general I like it, yeah. Do you know Jack the Whipper? I do. Yeah, he's funny. People say we look like each other. It's very funny. I know I ended up in one of his reaction TikToks when he was like, oh, people say I look like these YouTubers. He was like Matt Pat, he was someone else, and then it was me. That was pretty funny. I'm not sure if he actually like has ever looked at my content or anything like that, but at least he has been bothered enough to like be forced to look at my face. So that's cool. Jack the Whipper is great. Yeah, he is. He's very funny. Watching Click recently made me realize I don't know math at all somehow. Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short. Want to say you're my emotional support demon, Caitlin? Thank you so very much for the 2. That is so sweet. What's your opinion on pseudo-smart characters? Where you just know how stupid the writers must be because the stuff they say makes no sense. Yeah, those are the kind of characters that when they try to make a smart character but the writing isn't up to par, so they just end up being frustrating. I felt like this was a lot of character failures in, for example, The Rings of Power. The series was very dumbed down, but the characters are supposed to be, you know, deep. They're supposed to be like really fucking smart 2,000-year-old super elves. They're like, and then they act like they're 14 years old, and they're upset that they got grounded for the weekend. It's like, fam, oh my god. Or like when they're trying to push the plot with, I'm gonna spoil it a bit because it's garbage anyway. When they're making the Rings of Power, you know, the Elven rings or whatever, and Cerebrimbor, is that how you pronounce it? Something like that. And he's making the rings and nothing works, and oh my god, and totally not Sauron comes up and be like, have you tried mixing metals? And this master 3,000-year-old elven supersmith is like, oh my god, I never thought about mixing metals. Oh my, that's how you drove the plot to shore? That like the 3,000-year-old supersmith just forgot that mixing metals is a fucking concept? Holy fuck. I literally have a bronze ring on my finger. Bruh, come on. Stuff like that makes me, Smart, dumb characters. We have to enable the superflux semiconductor to restabilize the warp drive, or it will cause a rip in the space-time continuum. I mean, that can be funny in a silly way, but that's more like, you know, Star Trek kind of funny silly, you know? It's like, it doesn't necessarily have to be smart, it's just like space science mumbo-jumbo. And that can be a different category, I think. You know, it's more like for the meme and for the universe. It's not the characters trying to be like deep in a plot twist. It's just bullshittery to explain how we're flying in space. Are you a D&D player or the DM? A bit of both, depending on the group and the time. We kind of cycle it. The writing on the Middle Earth when the author is long. Why keep writing on the Middle Earth when the author is long gone? Just make movies on already existing books. Tolkien has a lot of books. Yeah. Or at the very least do other spin-offs, you know? For example, if they had made a series that was in the same line as the Fallout series, but for Lord of the Rings, that could work. Because the Fallout thing worked so well, because they have established a universe and stay true to it. You know, all the elements in the universe are the same, like the vaults, vault tech, all the conspiracies, the characters, the wasteland, all the dynamics are the same, but you don't follow any of the characters from the game. So there's not a specific story you follow that is already pre-established, so then you have a bit more liberty, you just stick to the universe. And in that way, it could be really fun. You know, you could just make up a character, like, oh, here's a character that was like, I don't know, after Morgoth's fall, they were rebuilding or something like that. Or, you know, they have a battle with one of the leftover Balrogs or something, I don't know. That could be really fun. And it could just be something that's like, hey, this is just something that took place in the universe around this time that wasn't really covered in any of the already existing literature. That will be fine. As long as you stick to like how the universe operates, that will be kind of fine. Because it's a pretty big universe with thousands and thousands of years of history. You know, there is plenty of stuff that happened that hasn't actually been written about if you want to go that route. So I think that is like a pretty decent way of doing it, if I'm gonna be honest. I kind of liked that way of doing it. I would like your opinion on something. I've been trying to make a word for non-binary aunt-uncle for a book I'm writing. Now I came up with a new possibility today. Neo. What do you think? A word for non-binary aunt-uncle. Like a word or a name? I'm not sure if I understand what Neo comes from, if you mean like the word aunt uncle. It sounds like a nickname. But maybe it's a merge of something else? I'm not sure if I understand the full context. They could make an amazing series following the tale of Fëanor. I'm not actually sure who that is, if I'm gonna be honest, but probably, yes, I'll trust you. Enti? Oh, they could have made a series about the Ents. It would have been a really slow one. Just vibing in the woods. Responsible one. Thank you so much for being a noble lasso. A few weeks ago, I, 24M, bought a pair of high heels boots for a costume. Then I immediately grew attached to them. It feels a bit weird, but I love them. Hell yeah. I mean, it makes you taller, makes your ass look great. High heels are life, man. Hell yeah. I just kind of want to have a click hug. That's the best hug I can give. Dark Witch 777. Thank you so much for being a lasso. Mwah. Do you live in a giant IKEA colony? Yeah. I wish there was a non-binary name for aunt and uncle that wasn't a combination of the binary. Maybe someone in chat knows a name. Brunkle. Ow. Yeah, what would that be? Parent sibling, yeah, something like that. Like, what would that even be? Great cousin? Sort of, I don't know. It's weird. It's difficult. I don't even think we have a gender neutral term for it in Swedish. No, I don't know. Pearbling? That's kind of cute. Uncle. I love ankle. And Tal, thank you so much for the 11. I'll visit my father tomorrow and subsequently see my mother for the first time since I broke off contact a year ago and recognize her destructive narcissism and attempt to talk. Send good vibes. I wish you the best of luck. I think it's important to know as well that it's not a binary thing, you know? If you think that you're not on good... If you feel like someone isn't good for you when they're too close to you, it's not like, you know, they have to be the closest person in your life or you have to cut them off completely, you know? I think if you want to have contact with your parents under healthy circumstances and you know that having them too close doesn't do that, it is okay to like have them a bit further away, you know? That is perfectly fine. If that is fitting and it actually works for you, you know. Narcissists never change. No, they don't really. Not really. At least the ones I've bumped into. At least the ones I've personal experience with, they don't change. They double down, triple down, quadruple down, and they keep going. So I think depending on what you know, who they are and how it operates, like having someone more distant might work, but yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one because it depends on the context, depends on yourself. Dark Witch, thank you so much for gifting a sub, you beautiful being. Mwah. Parent siblings would be complicated for a little kid. Yeah, maybe. Neo is a gender-neutral name if person here, meaning a new or gift from a divine being. However, like use it so can work for non-binary name. I mean, yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, it's a name. No company is better than bad company, though. Distance be damned. Yeah, I have cut off people who have too narcissistic traits in my life, and nowadays I have way less patience with it because of it. As soon as someone starts showing those flags and starts stirring things up or playing people against each other, I just cut them off right away. It is not worth the hassle because I know exactly where that road leads. I've been through it a couple of times now, and it is always the same bullshit. I think that's just part of getting old, honestly, and part of, like, learning, if that makes sense. You know who is worth giving repeated chances to, if that makes sense. I just wish she would do better, but I guess my siblings and father will just have to look out for ourselves. Yeah, sometimes people really do make life actively worse around you. One thing I realized with especially people with narcissistic tendencies, I know sometimes I mix it up and say like narcissists or narcissistic tendencies, and as far as I know, there's no diagnosis in the picture, so I suppose it's a decent clarification. But when people have had those tendencies around me, usually the experience I've had is that as soon as they are out of the picture, life just gets so easy. Oh my god. All of a sudden, there is no one like pulling unnecessary weird strings around. No one is stirring shit up for no reason. No one is insisting you have done something wrong when it's just like the most mundane things ever. No one is like manipulating people against each other, playing friend groups against each other, or like, you know, talking behind people's backs or that kind of stuff. It's wild how easy life gets when someone like that disappears from your picture. It can take a while to recover, depending on how deep into it you were, but that has been my experience. It's just like, it's like dropping a heavy backpack. It's like, oh my god, all of a sudden everyone just gets along. There is no one pulling the strings, there is no one amping people up to be backstabby or priming people against each other and like preparing arguments, and like, it's just, people are just vibing. Oh my god, how easy it got all of a sudden, damn. That was pretty funny. That was at least my experience with it. I'm still recovering, and recovery isn't linear, but I'm so glad the narcissists are gone. I feel like my own person again. Yeah, that is something I've heard quite a few times. I feel it's way more common than people in general are aware of. Especially after I had to deal with those sort of behaviors in a more public setting, like last year here. I had so many people come forward to me with their own similar experiences, like both online and like family friends and old relatives and everything. Like it's ridiculously common. I know, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people in my surroundings that have experienced that kind of stuff, like overbearing narcissistic behavior, latches control of your life, plays people against each other, manipulates everything, gaslights like hell, and then as soon as they manage to break free, it's like, oh my god. And usually it means breaking free from more than just that one person, because they've manipulated so many people against you by that point. So, really nasty shit, and I wish people saw through it better. I've had a couple of times it's happened since those experiences where I see kind of red flags regarding those behaviors, and most of the time it turns out to be accurate. Your gut feeling that you learn is a surprisingly accurate tool. It's wild. My father tried to talk to mother. She blew up and screamed after he suggested that maybe she can't always be right. I just try to stay in my energy. There is no helping a stubborn narcissist. Yeah, no, definitely not. It's really tricky. It's really tricky. Thank you. It's hard to deal with, especially in a public setting. Sending love to everyone who has to deal with this. Yeah, it's that kind of behavior where, you know, you can do a lot of damage without it actually being illegal, which is wild. Absolutely wild. And whoever has gone through everything with narcissists know that you garnered a lot more strength than you realized, and should be proud of that effort. We're proud that includes you. Click, oh my god, that's me! Oh! Can't always be right, the audacity! After I cut out my narc mother, I found out I am way more chilled out than she described me. Yeah, that is typically something. They will hype you up to be like either hysterical, or that you're messing up everything, or that something is always your fault, even if it's something that was never even on your table to begin with. It's somehow still your fault. That was always my experience with it. Something is always wrong, something is always your fault, something is always a mistake, or something like that, and then once you cut them off, you realize that, oh my god, maybe it wasn't. It actually works just fine now when this person isn't here just telling me that I suck. Wow, got so easy. Both my parents are extreme narcissists, and trust me, 2 narcissists is not a good mix. Surprised they're still married. That is wild. That is wild. Last time I encountered something like that, or basically someone I know encountered something like that, the narcissist played the friend group against each other because they both wanted to be in control. And they just turned the whole environment into like a war zone. It was wild. constantly being told that online friends aren't real friends. I get it, I don't know if they really care or not, but the people I'm friends with, usually I'm in a group call with, game with, I mean, online friends are definitely friends. I think friends come in all kind of, like, contexts and shapes and sizes, you know? Some friends are real-life friends, you meet up face-to-face, independent of what is happening in life. Some friends are friends you meet because you happen to go to the same place. It's like colleagues at the office, or classmates, or sport friends. Other friends you meet online because they live far away, but maybe you play a game together. Other friends you meet at the gym because you happen to do the same thing at the same time. You know, it varies a lot, but I would still claim it's friendship. We are friend-shaped, right? Yes, you are very friend-shaped. Very good. Emotional support demon walking on a blood treadmill is distracting me. Ah, he's such a good boy, isn't he? They're as real as you perceive them to be. Trusting someone is your decision. Then breaking it is theirs. Yeah. Some friends are just people you can just snipe zombies with. Friends can be made even in the strangest of circumstances. Yeah, that is true. Sometimes it's really random. My boyfriend was very narcissistic and physically abusive. Of course, he didn't start out that way. He was very sweet and kind. That's my experience too, honestly. Like, the mask slips after a while. That's kind of how they pull people in, you know? And I think at some point they know that themselves. That's why they operate that way, you know? Because they know that, you know, if I demand control over someone's life right away, no one's gonna agree to it. This was actually a misconception I saw a lot around YouTube when the situation in question was covered by a lot of different channels, like a year ago. One very common misconception I saw is that, oh my god, you must be stupid to fall for something like this. Why did you sign over so much stuff to this person, or why did you sign over your life? But the thing they're completely missing is, of course, that, yeah, you're right, no one actually is that stupid, because what happens is that it's a very gradual process. And in the beginning, they will typically love bomb you, and sometimes they will do you favors that comes with a catch. So, for example, one thing that happened to me, how this narcissist in question tried to rope me into the whole thing, was, for example, making things as complicated as possible for me to keep Discord staff of my own, and then very generously offering their own staff to replace them, which at the time might seem as a favor. It's like, damn, I've had all these problems with this staff, and my schedule is really messed up as it is, but now I have this offer from this person. Wow, but of course the problem is that it creates a dependency, right? It means that they're not really interested in helping you for the sake of helping you, they want control. So if you decide that you want to walk away from them, they will pull that away. And if they manage to do enough of those things, they will do it very gradually. It's like, oh, you have this first thing, and now if we have a small argument, it's like, oh, I'll pull my staff if you don't agree with this thing. And it's like, okay, that's a really big hassle, you know, so then maybe agree to another thing, because now you've already invested stuff in this, and walking away is expensive, so to say. And then all of a sudden, you're like, slowly, and then all of a sudden, they have more control over you than you would like them to have. A fan story, thank you so much for the 5. Got my glow-in-the-dark emotional support team last month. I love it. Planning to get a Pride Mango once they're out to be the best friend. Hell yeah, that's amazing. That is so cool. Timothy, thank you so much for the 10. Hi, Internet. Dad, thank you for helping me through hard times. I'm still alive. Oh, that's so sweet. I do hope you're doing better. And remember, you are amazing. And the strong person who gets through all the bad days is you. And you've gotten through all your bad days so far. And the bad days in the future ain't got nothing on you. But, yeah, so that was, the tea! But yeah, that was a pattern, especially in retrospect, that I very much recognized. Everything always came with a catch. Oh, there's a huge bumblebee that flew through my window. Hello, did it crash? I think it crashed. That was wild. It was like a loud thump. Anyway, we'll see if I get stung. So, I recognized those patterns very clearly after I moved on from the whole thing. It became very clear, because in the moment, it's very... Why do you keep getting so many bees? I think they love the evening sun on the wall. I think that's what it is. It gets warm in the evening, and then they are attracted to that, and then they find their way through the window. That favors and help always comes with a catch. That it's the kind of stuff that makes you dependent. You know, imagine, for example, if I had a YouTuber buddy and they were like, oh, my computer broke. Or maybe, better yet, actually, I convinced them to throw away their old computer or sell it because they can just take my old one. That's fine, it's much better than the one you have. Okay, perfect. But now if they cross me, I'm gonna pull away their computer, which is what they use to produce videos. All of a sudden, I have a surprisingly large amount of control over their life and livelihood. It's that kind of shit, you know, which is very different from actual favors. You know, either you give something like that as a gift, or you make them pay something for it, or but you don't like hold it over their head. You know, that's the difference. A gift is a gift, yeah, as it is in normal circumstances, but not if it's someone trying to garner control of your life in that way. Comes with a catch. Just to tell you, one of the people that made me realize what toxic relations I had with some friends. I'm cutting loose step by step, learning to be myself again. It's freeing, and that's a very good process. Why exactly are you called The Click? Any lore? Not really. I just wanted the general name that works for all my content. Can you say click is the best in German? Stop spamming, okay? We avoid that much in other languages in chat for a reason. I don't wanna keep it going. I found your channel a few months ago when I was in the hospital due to unexpected health issues. Ended up being in a wheelchair. I just wanted to thank you for being there for it. That is so sweet. I do hope you're feeling better. The bee is popping into the stream. It's your biggest fan. It is a very big bumblebee. It was like this big, fam. It's a huge chunker. The bees are attracted by your astounding fragrance. I smell like a fertile spring flower. When he left, he took so much of his belongings with him. I knew something was up when he gave me a portable HD. It was because he took everything he could of mine. Yeah, that's like the catch. It's, you know, oh, if this doesn't work out, then all this stuff goes away, and so you feel like you can't walk away yourself. Has-Been Hotel. I've watched a couple episodes. It's funny. Click is actually a flower, confirmed. Yes, indeed. The most beautiful flower. The bee was a paid actor. I think so, yeah. I hire a lot of bees. I had the opposite, and it was so weird. A friend of mine made herself dependent on me emotionally, like she wanted someone to save her from her emotional and physical poo, and it got weird AF. Speaking of people want to be emotionally dependent, Bumblebee, please. Please, there is a window. The same one you came in? No? No, you're gonna go in my potted plant. Alright. Uh-huh. What a silly boy. What a silly boy. It's on my shelf now. It's trying to steal my plushies, I think. God damn. What a rascal. What an absolute rascal. BSMR. It is. Click may or may not have to rescue a bee. It's actually a bumblebee. It's really big. Do I have something to grab it with? Let's see. Oh yeah, maybe I have a little bucket or something. Hold on. Oh, little bee. Come on now. You're being very silly, little bee. Very silly. Do I have something I can put you? Where did you go anyway? Are you stealing my plushies? No. Where are you? Did it crawl into the one? Oh, there it is. That was fast. I stepped on something as well. That's great. Okay, now it's at the window. This should be easy. Alright, little bumblebee. Just stay there. It was hiding behind the One Topic plushie, and it scared me. It's very sneaky. Out you go. Whee! Freedom! Yippee! Sweet liberty! Ah! Be democracy. You would not believe it. Yes. I had a person give me money for my trans treatment, and then she was allowed to be transphobic because she gave me money, so I gave it back and blocked them. That is wild. That is wild. Sometimes people will do that. That is also a very typical trait of people that are bad to have around. They will do you favors, but it's technically like, I'm allowed to treat you like poo because I did a good thing for you. And that's not how friendships work. That's not how friendship works. You should just do the good thing. My son is afraid of bumblebees and bees. So glad you had that interaction with it to show him it's fine. Bumblebees are usually harmless. Bees as well. They're not aggressive. Like, you can watch videos of people that work with bees, for example, and moving around bee nests and stuff like that to keep them safe. And they just touch it with their bare hands. If you know how to deal with it, bees are, like, surprisingly chill. Become a helldiver. Yeah. Do you have what it takes to preserve sweet liberty? Wow, time flies, just like the bee. Thank you so much for the membership of 15 months, you beautiful bean. Mwah. Speaking of time flying, it's about time for me to head off and grab some sweet, succulent dinner to stuff into my facial region. Thank you all so much for vibing with me here today in this wholesome little stream session. I do hope you enjoyed vibing with me here, and keep a lookout for the gay plushies coming out now in June. It's going to be beautiful. They have little gay capes. It's very cute. Oh my god, it's going to be so good. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to have some fun stream events and that kind of stuff. It's going to be very hype, and I do hope that you will be there for it. Thank you all so much for vibing with me here today, and I will see you again in the very near future. Take care. Mwah.